for the Detroit Lions on punts and kickoffs. He's joined by Richard Woodley back near the goal line. The kickoff will come from Craig Hentrick. He will be kicking from the south to the north, which is, as we view it, from the right to the left. Hope you enjoy the broadcast. It is an absolutely superb day for football here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So here's Hentrick approaching the football. And the kick is a low screamer, a line drive that bounces and goes to Milburn at about the 5, to the 10, up the right sideline to the 20, looking for the outside corner, got it, and steps out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So it'll be taken at the 26-yard line with a first down for the Detroit Lions. And here comes Don Majkowski. So far this season, he's thrown only 29 passes, 12 out of 29, 134 yards, just 41% completion, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 sack. So it's fair to say that he's rusty.
I would think so, Jim, but let's hope he don't wear the rust off here today.
He's got a lot of guys to throw to. Brett Perriman, Johnny Morton, and Herman Moore are the wide receivers for the Detroit Lions. And Moore, the big guy, with 59 catches so far this season. Single running back, and that's Barry Sanders, of course. Here's the ride and the handoff to Sanders. Sweeps through a hole to the 30, to the 35, and out to the 37-yard line. And that's a gain of 12 yards before he can be knocked down by Kuntz and Leroy Butler, and that's not what you want.
No, and the Lions doing something everybody's afraid to do, running towards Reggie White, and that time Zephyrus Moss, their right tackle, is able to tie him up long enough for Sanders to get by, which isn't long.
No, a gain of 12 yards for Barry Sanders, who came in 145 carries, 645 yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. Perriman will go to the left. This time it is Moore spit out wide right, and you have Johnny Morton a slot on the left. Morton's caught 30 balls so far, and Perriman 41. Here's Majkowski. Again, a play-action fake, and he missed the handoff, and he has to dive to the 39-yard line. He's tripped up there and goes down at the 39. That's just pure and simple a missed handoff to Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I think Majkowski probably blew that handoff, Jim. He probably came out backwards, coming out from under center, because the halfback was already gone.
Yeah, he reached for him. He just couldn't get it there.
Jim, just a few minutes ago, you mentioned Rusty. That's Rusty, a guy that hasn't been out there a lot in the past.
Second down, 8 yards to go. They were going to run a second straight time to Barry Sanders. Now it's second and 8. They got a wing on the right side. Metzlars is their tight end. He's caught 11. Pete Metzlars has been around the league for 15 years. Second down play. Here's Majkowski. Short, quick drop. In trouble. Runs. Caught by Reggie. Knocked down at the 40. He was a short drop. It wasn't open. He held on to the ball, slid up into the pocket, right into the arms of Reggie White at the 40-yard line.
You hit it right, Jim. He wanted to throw that ball with a 2-step drop. Nobody was open, so by then he had to run it. Of course, Reggie got him.
Packers got some decent penetration up the middle with Gilbert Brown and Wayne Simmons switching rush lanes, doing what's called a twist, and that caused Majkowski to step up.
Larry, they want to throw most of their patterns on 3- and 5-step drops. That's exactly what they want to do all the time.
Well, they designed that offense for Mitchell because he's 6'6" and get an instant read over the top of the defensive lineman and offensive lineman.
Third down, about 7.5 yards to go for the first down for the Detroit Lions at their own 41. Here comes the man in motion. Metzlars to the right. He reverses and goes back left. Majkowski with a straight back drop. Reggie after. He fires it up over the middle. It is caught, and a first down at the 47-yard line by Johnny Morton. Morton, in his third year out of USC, catches his 31st ball of the year. Good throw by Majkowski, and he just had patience enough to wait for Morton to open up.
I tell you, that's a bad sign for the Packers, Jim, because they had a pretty good pressure on Majkowski, and he still got the ball right on target. I was hoping that rust might show up there.
Morton came all the way across the field, but Majkowski just waited on him.
Yeah, Don, one thing about him, he reacts well to pressure. He's got, while he hasn't got the greatest arm in the world, he does have athletic ability to move around, and he's not afraid out there.
They start now from the Packer 47-yard line. Single running back in Barry Sanders. Here's Majkowski. Delay action fake. Guy wants to throw long down the sidelines. Got a man open, and he shot it to the outside. Intended it for Herman Moore, but Moore was well covered on the play by Newsom, and Majkowski not taking any chance, threw it well short of it.
Yeah, I think that's just a timing problem, Jim. Perriman, I don't think he's used to that route because, as you said, he threw the ball out of bounds, but really he could have hit Perriman was right where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's Herman Moore. Herman Moore, right, and that's a big target.
But also Newsom, Moore ate him alive at times last year. Newsom ran the route with him. Newsom really wants to, he wants to meet this challenge with Herman Moore.
Second down and 10 from the 47-yard line for Detroit in Packer territory. Here's the draw, this time to Barry Sanders. A flag down on the play. Sanders ridden down on the far side of the field at about the line of scrimmage. He had 2 guys on his back, including Santana Dotson, and they just stayed with him. Finally, Gilbert Brown threw his additional weight into it, and that stopped it right there.
And that's considerable.
But the Packers were offsides, unfortunately, on the play. An offside penalty against the Packers will move the ball 5 yards down the field and make it a 2nd and 5. Let's listen. This is Tom White who's going to tell us.
Offsides. Number 21, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Craig Newsom lined up in the neutral zone, and that's a tough play because it would have been third down at about 9. Instead, now it is 2nd and 5 at the Packer 43-yard line.
Yeah, but how often do you see a cornerback off?
Not very often that I know of. Perriman to the left, Morton to the right. And Herman Moore a slot on the right side. He goes in motion to the left. McCaskey waits on him, then rides to Barry Sanders. He slides to the outside corner again, tries to come upfield, and is forced out of bounds by Eugene Robinson and Newsom at the 42. So actually, he picked up only a yard on that play. Looked like he got rid of the first 2 guys, but the Packers, with great backup ability, got to him.
Real good force by Robinson and Newsom, because Reggie, while he played off the block, not quick enough to get outside to stop Sanders. You need that quick force from your DBs, and that's what we got.
Made him force it a little more to the outside, took an extra step to get there, and that allowed the defense to catch up. Third down at about 4 for Detroit. McCaskey sends Moore in motion to the far side of the field, and the Packers jump after it. McCaskey now on a bootleg rolls to the right, and he's going to run for a first down. It slides for the first down at the 35. Now, was that a running bootleg or was that a passing bootleg?
Well, I think it was a dealer's choice, to be honest with you. I think if nobody open, they know McCaskey can run. I think that's a good play for Detroit to use.
Sean Jones very close to being offsides, and actually he did the Lions a favor because Sean let up for a moment.
Took himself out.
Makowski went to the outside.
Took him out of it. Putzer's Big and Tall is proud to support the many charities in our community. Stop by the Putzer's near you and make a bid for one of the autographed footballs signed by Brett Favre, Edgar Bennett, Robert Brooks, Craig Newsom, and Leroy Butler, and support a local charity through Putzer's Big Heart. First down at the Packer 35. Here's a play-action fake by McCaskey. He wants to throw long. He's got Moore going downfield, and he overshot him. McCaskey and Moore. Moore didn't seem as if he was in full stride all the way down the field, and the defenders, Butler and Newsom, stayed right with him.
Somebody was confused, Jim, because McCaskey went back to hit Herman Moore, and Moore never got out of a trot.
No, he did not open up going down the field, and he might very well have been able to get open.
He made life easy for Leroy and Craig that time.
Second down and 10 at the 35-yard line of the Packers. Perriman goes out wide left. We have played 4.5 minutes of the ballgame. The Packers have not had it on offense yet. Second down, 10 at the Packer 35 for Detroit. Here's McCaskey, single running back in Barry Sanders. McCaskey, quick drop, and the pattern goes to the outside to Moore at the 30. Immediately drilled to the turf after a gain of 5 yards on the coverage by Craig Newsom. Newsom let him catch it in front of him. Then he made a good, solid tackle with a good position and knocked him down after a gain. Where are they going to get? Oh, they're going to give him the 29. He actually was back behind the 30 when the hit came. And he was spun back to the 32.
Very important to handle Herman Moore like that, because Moore is 6'4", 217. I mean, he is a big man. You got to get him down after those short completions.
It is third down and about 4 for Detroit. 3rd and 4. This is the third down of the drive. McCaskey sends a man in motion to the right. That's Perriman. He reverses to the outside on the far side. Back goes McCaskey to throw. He's got a man on the sidelines over there. Did he catch it or not? He did catch it. Where's it going to be marked? That's a key where they marked the football. Perriman caught it with Doug Evans on him, and they marked the ball just shy of the 25, and I don't know whether he's got a first down or not. It's awfully close, and they also have Perriman down on the far side of the field.
Makowski faced intense pressure that time from Santana Dotson, who beat Jeff Harding's, the Lions' prize first-round rookie who's starting at right guard.
That was a good throw by McCaskey in a difficult position.
A tremendous catch, Jim. The Perriman left the ground, and I think that's why he got hurt. He probably either fell on his arm or something over there, because he made a great catch, and I think it's just short of a first down.
Well, this game today is brought to you by DirecTV. For the most NFL action available anywhere, it's got to be DirecTV, satellite TV at its best. Well, Perriman is still on the ground. It appears that he may be short of the first down, although I don't think, well, they've already marked it 4th down, so it will be 4th down for Detroit. And it'll be interesting to see if they want to take a chance. We'll take a break and be back after this. This is the Packer Radio Network. They don't have a short yardage play on Detroit's team.
Well, that's always been one of the weaknesses of this particular offense, Jim, is you don't really have a fullback. You only got one running back. I think it's if you don't sneak it, I don't know what you're going to do with it.
They sneak it a lot, Max, like Mitchell was 6 for 6 on sneaks.
All right, here's McCaskey, the quarterback, and Sanders now goes out to the left side. They've spread everybody out.
It's a sneak.
Here's McCaskey waiting, and now did they draw the Packers into the neutral zone? If they made contact, that would be an automatic first down. Now Tom White throws his flag as well. It appeared that Gilbert Brown was rocking, but White is saying something about Detroit as well. Let's listen.
Oh, it's against Detroit.
It backfired.
Illegal procedure on the part of the Detroit Lions now makes it a 4th down and 5. And if you are Wayne Fonts, do you go to Jason Hansen now?
You kick a
since
field
the
goal.
ball becomes about a 47-yard field goal into the wind. Hansen is 5 out of 7 this season. 51-yarder is his long, and that's what they're going to try. So it backfired on Detroit. They were trying to pull the Packers offside, and in fact got an illegal procedure call when one of their people moved instead.
Max, what do you think? 4th and less than a yard, you go for it, don't you? Rather than just trying to pull them off?
Well, I thought at the end of that was going to be a quarterback sneak. I'm not sure that we're not going to sneak the ball. I didn't get that indication.
Here's the try by Hansen. Not a good snap. The kick is long enough, and the kick is good. Boy, well handled by Mark Royals, and it is good to make it a 3-0 ball game and a timeout. Back after this from your local station here on the Packer Radio Network.
The next time you pour from a ketchup bottle or drink from a soft drink bottle, imagine how it would look on your floor. Classy carpeting by Image Carpets.
Brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm at Oshkosh B'gosh Apparel. For the lowest overall prices every day on Oshkosh B'gosh Apparel, shop Mills Fleet Farm. All right, the kickoff, Jervy and Desmond Howard are the deep people. Here's Hansen's high floater that Howard is going to go back 2 yards deep and take. He comes up the right side to the 10, the 15 to the 20. There's a hole to the 25-26. Somebody stuck out a hand and just threw him off stride. If he gets through there, Max, untouched, he might have gone the distance.
Well, he was flying, and there's no doubt about it, Jim, but one guy fell off and made the tackle.
So from the 26-yard line, the Packers take over. Left end, Robert Porcher. Henry Thomas, the left tackle. It's Shane Bohan. I believe Luther Ellis is going to start at the right tackle. And we'll see who starts at the right end, Larry. Tracy Scoggins will not play.
Kerwin Waldrop, a rookie, 5th-round choice out of Central State.
Of Ohio.
Kind of a light guy, but a shaken and Baker.
All right, it's going to be first down at the 26-yard line for the Packers. They split off to the left side. Don Beebe is out there along with Terry Mickens on a first down play. Here's Favre to throw on first down. Now he's in trouble. Now he runs and scrambles. Favre is tripped up from behind, gets back to the line of scrimmage, not much further than that. Boy, he had some running room. I don't think he ever saw the tackler who was coming to get him, and the man who made the tackle on the play was Waldrop.
Yeah, he's a speedy guy. He caught the Lions' attention with a great workout, got great workout numbers.
So it is going to be a second down and 9 yards to go for the Packers. Whatever Don hoped to have open, or Brett Favre hoped to have open up on that play, did not open up. And he had to scramble and try to get out of there, and he did. Mickens is wearing number 85. I thought Mickens was going to wear 84, but
that's
he's wearing
Anthony
85.
Morgan. Anthony
Morgan is going to 84. All right.
Earl Dotson back in the lineup this week with the
Mickens splits left. We got a slot on the left side. 2 running backs on a 2nd and 9. Beebe goes in motion to the right. Here is Favre on a quick handoff to Edgar Bennett to the 30 and out to about the 31-yard line as he came out to the left side, tried to get some running room of field, but was hit and dropped by Antonio London.
Packers allowed some penetration in the middle that time. The only reason they got any positive yardage is William Henderson did a nice job of sustaining his block.
Going to say hello from State Farm Insurance to a number of people in our booth right now. Reggie Rabb and Bridget Rabb, Mike Sly and Gwyneth Sly. And I'll tell you more in a moment. Here's third down at about 5 for the Packers. Single running back, 3 wide receivers for Green Bay. Mickens goes in motion. Back to pass goes Brett Favre. Steps up in a pocket. Lofts it across to Terry Mickens. And Mickens first down with a great last effort. And that's what he's known for. The physical strength of Terry Mickens. And he dived that last yard for the first down.
Just a great individual effort by a wide receiver, huh, Max?
You're right about that, Jim. And also, did you notice the way that Brett Favre just lobbed that pass out to Mickens where he couldn't miss it because he was so open?
Let me tell you who else is in our booth today. Greg Bolick and his wife Barbara Bolick. Greg Bolick, an outstanding quarterback at the University of Wisconsin. It was a pleasure. I broadcast every game he quarterbacked for the University of Wisconsin, and we won more than we lost, didn't we? Nice to have you, Greg. Welcome to the booth. All right, here's the first down play. Quick pattern upfield. It goes to Keith Jackson. 42, shakes and gets to the 47-yard line. He shook off a defender at about the 43 and gets it out to the 47, close to a first down for the Green Bay Packers.
Just a simple little stop pattern by the tight end, but Keith Jackson, his athletic ability and size allowing him to shake off Pepper Johnson, who's brought down a few folks in his day, to pick up a nice extra yards.
So it's going to be, well, they may have to measure to see whether or not this is a first down. They're getting ready to bring the sticks in, I believe, as they look at it. Says Tom White says first down. Tom is not one to hesitate. Tom can read whether they're first downs or not, and he calls that one a first down immediately. 2 first downs in a row for the Packers, who trail 3-0 in the ball game.
Anthony Morgan, their third wide receiver in what they call their zebra set when there's 3 wideouts.
So now you have 2 of those. You can't say Mickens hasn't played it down before and hadn't caught a pass, because he has. Here's a play action fake. Then they give it off to Dorsey Levens to the outside, trying to get the corner. Does. Slides across the 50 and then upfield to the 45. Pretty good run. Levens waited as long as he could for his blockers to make the block.
And one of those blockers, Adam Timmerman, doing a real nice job taking care of their outside linebacker, Antonio London. Timmerman just buried him.
Ball is going to the 45. I would think, Max, that Brett now has a lot of confidence. He's completed a couple of passes. One of them goes to Mickens. Things start to come better for you.
Well, I think so. And Brett's never suffered from a lack of confidence.
That is true. That is true. All right, it is going to be a second down and about 2 yards to go at the 45-yard line of Detroit. Trailing 3-0 are the Packers early in the game. Here's Brett on a delay play action fake. Now looks, fires it downfield. There's on BB, and it was almost intercepted. Well played by the safety for the Detroit Lions. That was Ronnie Rice. And Rice had that thing measured, and he let it go through his hands. That was kind of hung up a little bit by Brett Favre.
Well, Brett, BB had his man beat with, other than the free safety coming over there, which is always a danger there, Jim. I think if Brett would have thrown that again,
yes,
he would put more on it.
Yeah, if he throws a little harder, he might have BB open, because BB had broken into the clear, and then the safety, Ron Rice, had come over to help out on the play. So it's third down at about 2. Mickens goes right, and BB goes to the left, and you got Morgan as a slot on the left. No, you got Chimura is in a slot on the left side for the Packers, not quite out in a slot position. Here's Favre, short drop, look, swings it off to the left side, caught by Bennett, great catch. First down at the 36-yard line. What a terrific catch by Edgar Bennett, over the shoulder, up high, and he managed to get it all hands and bring it in.
And a great throw by Favre. Those passes are hard to throw. They have to be absolutely perfect, and that one was.
Edgar Bennett working against Reggie Brown, the Lions' first-round draft choice. Inexperienced guy, though, let alone being a rookie. He's been hurt a major portion of this year.
Well, that was a terrific throw and a terrific play by the Packers and for Edgar Bennett. That is catch number 18 this season. So it is going to be a first down at the 36-yard line of Detroit. Single running back for the Packers. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. They come hard at him. A screen. Edgar Bennett well set up. Bennett inside to the 30 and dives down to the 37-yard line. And Detroit is fortunate that Reggie Brown just got a hand on him, because he had a lot of room in front of him.
Well, Henry Thomas came from out of the screen, Jim. He was from behind and caught him. You're right. He might have gone all the way.
That was well set up and just came within an eyelash. And they're going to mark the ball at the 30. Boy, I thought he'd gotten it down to about the 28-yard line.
I mean, Henry Thomas, one of the league's best defensive tackles and an experienced guy. He feels when the linemen are letting them go and got out in the mix.
4:04 left to go in a very quick first quarter here. Both teams have had drives. The Packers have a 2nd and 4 at the Detroit 29-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right for the Packers on this second down play. Here's Brett on the draw play up the middle. Levens mid right at the line of scrimmage and no place to go. Dorsey trying to take it up the middle, and the hole never opened up for him. And he is immediately swallowed up at that spot on the field. Let's see, is that Waldrop who made the tackle? No, that's number 91, Robert Porcher, who made the tackle. Porcher has 38 tackles and 5 sacks this season for Detroit. That puts him about 3rd in tackles.
Porcher and last year's first-rounder for them, Luther Ellis, have switched positions. Porcher's a left end now. Luther Ellis has moved inside, and both of them are playing better because of the switch.
Now a key play at 3rd down and 4 to go at the 30-yard line of Detroit. Stepping into the backfield and going in motion to the right is Mark Chimura. Here's Brett Favre. He rolls to the right on play action, comes up the middle, is caught by William Henderson, and the inside of the tight end. Chimura went outside, Henderson came inside, just a little flip, and Henderson has a first down at the 23-yard line. What a well-designed play.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing, Jim. I tell you, they got Chimera out there that just opened up that little hole for the fullback to slide in there. A perfect first down play.
Larry, I thought he was going to Chimura, who would not have gotten the first down, but he was going right behind Chimura.
It's one of their favorite routes. They use a lot. Drag that tight end out there and feed somebody in behind them. And obviously the tight ends are going to get most of the attention.
First down at the 23-yard line of the Detroit Lions for the Packers, trailing 3-0 early. Here's Brett Favre. Quick pattern to the outside. Caught by Beebe at the 18. Beebe to the 15. And Beebe near a first down at about the 14-yard line. Don Beebe just went down about 3 steps, stopped in a quick pass by Brett Favre, who is really on target at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. He's throwing the ball so good here to Jim today. There's no telling how many he's going to complete.
The Lion cornerbacks are notorious for playing soft. They give receivers a big cushion. The Packers could pick up that pattern anytime they want to.
Got to be 2nd down and a yard at the 14-yard line of the Detroit Lions. High formation for the Packers. The up back is William Henderson. The tailback is Edgar Bennett. Now they split it into a pro set. Here is the second down play, and the handoff to Henderson. Somebody may have moved for the Packers. I thought there was movement on the left side as a flag is thrown. He has the first down about the 12, but let's see what the officials have to say about it. Today's game brought to you by Simplicity. Simplicity dealers are the only place you can buy Simplicity's top-performing lawn and garden equipment, and where you can register to win a Packer Backer tractor. I think the applause tells you that it may be against the Detroit Lions.
Offsides on the Lions.
So that will be a first down, and we'll take it down to the 4-yard line. I was listening to it, or to the 10-yard line. I was listening to a discussion today, Larry. People on the radio were talking about when you get to this time of the year, two things happen. The short passing game becomes more effective than the longer game because of the weather, and the running game takes on added importance.
Well, yeah, anytime you don't have a super fast track and so forth, those kind of things, the things where the people know where they're going, gain the advantage. And the short passing game obviously doesn't require the timing or the footwork of vertical throws.
Well, they were talking about the number of games that are in the colder weather today and the effect that would have. First down at the 9-yard line, goal to go for the Packers. BB in motion, Favre back to throw. Favre with some time, now running. They're chasing him from behind, and he's caught and brought down by Antonio London from behind, back at about the 13-yard line. So that will be a sack for the Detroit Lions. Favre trying to get out to the right, just didn't have enough room to go.
Antonio London getting the corner on rookie John Michaels.
So it is going to be second down and goal, but this time it's back at the 12.5-yard line for the Packers.
London's had a lot of experience rushing the passer. In fact, that's all he did last year. This is the first time he's been a down-to-down player.
Into the lineup for the Packers comes Derek Mays for the first time today. You've got Mays and Howard. You have BB into the lineup and Mickens, I believe, on a 4-receiver set from the 12.5-yard line, second and goal. Here is the handoff to Dorsey. Levens through to the 10, flag on the play,
holding.
And that may be holding on Earl Dotson. Tom White's throwing it, and it is holding against the Packers. So from a first and goal at the 9, the Packers are going to find themselves all the way back at the 22-yard line with a second down and goal to go. So this is not what you had expected at this stage. Let's see what happens. Our ball game today brought to you by Mick Golden, the smooth golden one that goes down easy. Michelob Golden Draft, smooth over everything. You realize this quarter has 48 seconds remaining in it, and we have had one possession by each team.
Jim, actually, they called Frankie for he set towards the side of the play. I thought he did a good job getting the block, and now I know why.
Jamira Henderson and Bennett come back into the lineup. Out go Mays, Levens, and Desmond Howard. So a second and goal at the 22-yard line. The Packers are trailing 3-0. And we have 30 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. Shimura steps back into the backfield. He goes in motion to the right for Brett Favre. Straight back in the pocket. Now he steps up, rides, comes up over the middle. Caught! Close to a touchdown at the goal line. It's about a half a yard shy. And the receiver who caught it, maybe Beebe, is down and not getting up.
Oh, what a blow he took, Jim. The fact that he hung onto that football was one great feat, I'll tell you that.
7 seconds left in the quarter, Larry.
Courageous play by Don Beebe, but what a tracer thrown by Brett Favre.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he gets hit there, and then he gets another one of those helmet blows. You know, you get shoulder and helmet at the same time. These blows are getting to be really, really difficult blows to deal with, and he goes down right at the goal line. That, you know, that could be a shoulder injury. That could be the wind knocked from him. It could be any number of things. But Beebe held on to the football, folks. It'll be third down and goal to go about a yard shy of the goal line.
I will say that's a legal hit as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's a hard hit. There's no question about that.
Rough game, but what courage that takes.
Oh. Midwest Express Airlines wants to take this opportunity to salute S.C. Johnson Wax, their partner in travel. Midwest Express Airlines, the best.
Blustery weather and hard benches of Lambeau, they prefer the comfort of pressurized cabins and all leather seats aboard Skyway Airlines, the Midwest Express connection. Moreover, Packer fans may spend hours happily in line for a bratwurst, but they also appreciate the convenient scheduling of Skyway Airlines. Furthermore, while they become delighted in the presence of a good aerial game, they're perfectly giddy for the aerial game of, well, you know who. Offering easy connections to the award-winning jet service of Midwest Express with destinations coast to coast. Skyway Airlines, the Midwest Express connection. It's, shall we say, a higher ground for Packer fans.
While you're away, the Packers have scored a touchdown. A rollout by Brett Favre throws it to Dorsey Levens. We'll cue the tape up and give you the play in just a moment. The quarter is ended. The Packers have taken the lead 6-3. They'll try the extra point here. And then when we come back from the break, we'll give you the play. Here's the kick. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Packers lead 7-3. We'll take a break. Be back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Yeah, I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Excuse me?
I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
Okay, how did this happen?
Well, I just brought home a six-pack.
Import, domestic?
Import. And I just opened my first one when I took a big whiff, and that's when I tripped over the coffee table.
Oh, so...
Ball game. Here's the way the touchdown sounded. All right, here we go. The Packers come to the line of scrimmage. It is third down and a yard to go for the touchdown. Brett Favre, the quarterback, up under. Favre bolts to the right, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Dorsey Levens. Levens in the end zone. Favre rolling to the right. And he has hit his 22nd touchdown pass of this season. So that's the way it's scored. Here is the kickoff to start the second quarter. Hendrick hangs it up high. Ball is going to go to Milburn at the 7-yard line. Back to the 10 to the 15. Up the middle with a little hole. Breaks a tackle to the 28-yard line. Then ripped down at about the 32. He comes down at the 32. The Packers scored 74 yards in 14 plays for that touchdown. And fans, it's time now for the Quick Trip Quick Score contest. And today's contestant, Ruth. Detroit Lions at the 32-yard line. Man in motion to the near side. Here is McCaskey on the hand and wide open. Barry Sanders to the 40, 45. Midfield cuts back against the grain. Still on his feet and dragged down finally at the Packer 34-yard line. Barry Sanders all the way from the 32 down to the Packer 35-yard line. That's 33 yards on the run.
Oh, boy, a quick opener, Jim, and nobody gets a quick opener quicker than the Sanders, and he almost broke it all the way.
By the way, Ruth Abramson of Glendale, Wisconsin, thinks that Keith Jackson will be the first Packer to score in this second quarter. She's already won a gift certificate, and if Keith Jackson does score, she'll win a year's supply of quality gasoline from Quick Trip. Here's a first down at the 35 for the Lions. The handoff to Sanders. Tries to slide outside, and this time he squirms forward for about 5 yards to the 30. And Barry really seems to be on his game so far today.
Very critical for the Packer defensive linemen and linebackers to maintain lane discipline. I mean, they're each responsible for a gap. You got to hold that gap because there's no telling where Sanders will wind up.
Second down and 5 yards to go at the 30-yard line. We're early in the second quarter. Each team had it one possession in the first quarter, and both scored, but it's 7-3, the Packers. Second down 5 at the Packer 30-yard line. In motion to the outside goes Metzlars. Here's the handoff. Sanders cuts against the grain, breaks the tackle. He's got a first down at the Packer 23-yard line, ridden down by Mike Pryor, among others, down about the 23-yard line.
What we're not seeing right now is gang tackling near the line of scrimmage, near or at the line of scrimmage. That time, Reggie White shed his blocker, had enough to get a piece on Barry, but we need help on a runner like that.
By the way, our Bud Packer payoff contestant here in the second quarter is David DeSchmidt from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. David, hope you have a chance to win $620. In fact, it's an impressive offensive performance being run by Don McCaskey.
Anytime you get Sanders to the line of scrimmage that quick, he is dangerous.
All right, first down at the Packer 23-yard line. Here's McCaskey again. The handoff to Sanders, this time against the grain, back down to the 15-yard line. Good open field tackle by Eugene Robinson, but a great cut by Barry Sanders against the grain back towards the middle.
We talk about maintaining your gaps and so forth. That time they were able to get Gilbert Brown cut on the ground, and therefore Sanders had room to cut back to the offside.
So it is a second down. He gained 8 on the play, and Barry Sanders already has 65 yards in 6 carries here in the first half. He was well over 100 yards, in fact 150 yards in one game in the first 2 of the season, and he had gone since that time without a 100-yard game. Man in motion, Herman Moore. He goes back to the outside on 2nd and 2, and the draw play this time goes to Rivers. Ron Rivers spelling Barry Sanders, gets close to the first down around the 13-yard line. Ron Rivers, a second-year player out of Fresno State, and Ron Rivers came in averaging 6 yards a carry, but he'd only carried it 11 times.
Oddly enough, now the Lions' basic formation is 3 wide receivers. A lot of teams just open up and play nickel defense with 5 defensive backs. For the most part, the Packers have been playing with their normal alignment, 3 linebackers, because the linebackers can run.
Well, for pregame reviews and postgame analysis, I'll get this word right, of every Green Bay Packers game, turn to Journal Sentinel Sports. All right, they're going to measure the ball down at the 13-yard line, and they'll put the sticks down and rule that it is
It's a first down.
First down, Detroit at the Packer 13-yard line. If you depend on your car to perform, depend on 76 gasolines to keep it a performance car. Well, the Lions at the 13 have a first down, and the big 33-yard run by Barry Sanders has really set them up on this drive. 7-3, the Packers. McCaskey with a single running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end to the left side this time. 1 wide receiver, wide right. Here's McCaskey sending Metzlars in motion to the right, and a play-action fake by Don. Wants to go to the end zone, does, and it's broken up, almost intercepted. Boy, Eugene Robinson had it in his hands. Actually, a collision between Robinson and Morton may have jarred the ball loose from Eugene Robinson.
I tell you, it was pretty obvious they were going to bootleg there and let McCaskey throw the ball, but he threw it into heavy traffic.
Oh, he did.
And the Packers probably should have intercepted that ball.
Well, they had 2 people there. I think just the collision on the play is what may have caused the ball to come loose. See, Robinson moving inside actually may have been also interfered with by his own man coming back to help out on the play.
Beware of Sanders out in the flat now.
Second down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here is McCaskey. McCaskey on the draw play to Sanders. Flag on the play, and they're blowing the play dead, which must mean one of 2 things. Either contact made by the defense before the snap or movement by the offense before the snap.
I think choice B on that one, Jim. I think Detroit moved.
So it is going to be against the Detroit Lions, and a protest by Ray Roberts, the 50-year left tackle from Virginia, will move them back 5 yards. We'll remind you that quality, great selection, and the lowest overall prices are the reasons you should make Roundy's Pick and Save your one and only food store. For the best overall value, shop at Roundy's Pick and Save. When it comes to price, they're still talking low. What do we got as scores?
Well, Tampa Bay, Chicago, 3-0 Chicago, and that big game in the East is 7-7 Philadelphia, Dallas. That's the 2 main games.
Second down and 15 for the Lions back at the 18-yard line in Packer territory. Again, a man in motion to this near side of the field, Johnny Morton. He reverses and goes back to the outside for Don McCaskey, straight back in the pocket. Mack with a quick play, a flag thrown on the play, dropped at the 15-yard line, but there is a flag on the play thrown really about the time the ball was snapped.
Well, it looks
and that's
like
to the outside.
That could be that holding out there or illegal touching.
No, it's illegal motion on the part of the Detroit Lions. Apparently that man who was in motion, Max, cut up field before the ball was snapped.
You're exactly right, because there would be no reason to throw that flag
right
in that particular spot.
So the Lions...
Third down.
The Lions will decline it. The Packers decline the penalty to make it third down. Good call.
Well, except your field goal ranges would have been a little better if they would have taken it.
Well, it's going to be third down now and 15 yards to go for the Lions. Herman Moore, he's the man you got to worry about. He's split wide right. Morton is to the left, and a slot on the left side as well for Detroit. Here is McCaskey, sends Morton in motion. McCaskey on the handoff, gives it to Barry Sanders out in the open. Sanders trying to get away, does. He's still on his feet at the 10. Touchdown.
What a run.
Barry Sanders got away from 3 defenders and scores the touchdown, went to the right, cut back to the left, and scores the TD.
The Lions ran a trap play, pulling Mike Compton blocking, trap blocking on Reggie White, but that was just the start of it. That got him past the line of scrimmage. The rest of it, Barry Sanders, how do you figure him?
Nobody in the world would have made that call without a Barry Sanders, Jim, because he beat 4 guys man-to-man straight up and got in the end zone.
Sanders goes 18 yards for the touchdown. Detroit takes the lead back. And we've held Barry Sanders fairly well recently. I said the field might be too good today. Hansen will try the extra point. It is a 9-7 ball game at the moment. Here's the ball down. Not a good snap again, but Hansen gets it up in the air, but there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the officials rule about this one. So the Lions have come roaring back here behind Don McCaskey for a touchdown and a field goal in this ball game. Whatever the penalty is, it's against the Packers and will be accepted or declined. The extra point will count. It's 10-7. We have a timeout. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Have you tried?
Look at all that snow. No, not outside. I'm talking about your TV. That old set is in pretty bad shape. Better head for Western Auto Home Center in downtown Spooner. Western Auto has a wide selection of TVs, VCRs, home stereos, and more. Top brands like RCA, Magnavox, GE, and Pioneer. All at a low, low price. Get 6 months free on your Western Auto charge card and
playoff game when they held them to -1 on 13 carries like last year. Both games over 100, 124 in one of them, 167 in the other. Barry Sanders has pretty good days against the Packers.
And the Packers now get the ball for only the second time today. They trailed 10-7 in the ballgame. That's one of the ways to slow down the Packer offense is to keep the ball on offense yourself. Here's the kick. This is a high floater that is Howard chasing it down in the end zone. He's going to stay there and bring it out to the 20-yard line. Kohl's Department Store is your headquarters for great Packer merchandise, jackets, sweatshirts, jerseys, and hats. If you're a Packer fan, we'll make it worth your while at Kohl's. That's more like it.
The Lions got to like what's happening because going in, like Max mentioned, Barry has not been running wild this year. They got him untracked. They're getting a lead, and they can keep Barry involved in the game as long as they maintain a lead.
Listen, we got guests in the booth now. We got Pat and Pat McLaughlin. Pat and Little Pat, right? Pat and Repat. Something like that. From Schlossman's down in Dodge City in Milwaukee. And Gary Guckenberger of Quick Trip and his wife Mary here. All right, first down at the 20-yard line for the Packers. Packers trail in the ball game now by 10-7. Brett Favre, long count, play action fake, rolls to the left, flips it off to Chimura at the 25, to the 30. Chimura lowers the shoulder and goes to the 34-yard line.
That's just that little pattern where the tight end, Mark Chimura, slips the defensive end, lets him go, goes out in the flat to pick up a nice yardage.
And we got Rutgers in there at left tackle on this series, even though Michael started. I believe this is the first time Rutgers been in there.
Well, it's only the second series, so they haven't had much choice on the two of them, have we?
Maybe they're going to alternate.
Chimura with the catch, takes it out to the 34, and Favre is 9 out of 10 in throwing so far in the ball game. So it's a first down at the 34-yard line in Packer territory. 10-7 in favor of the Detroit Lions. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Great protection. Now it breaks down, and he scrambles off to the right. Stops, throws long. Got a man down there, and Beebe. And again, he has collided with, and down he goes. Two men hit him, and the ball hung up, and Beebe is knocked down and out again.
He will not get up this time. Yeah, that was about as violent a collision as I've seen in a long time, and that's concussion time there.
Beebe is down. This is a fourth week in which a Packer receiver has been down in the ballgame. That ball just hung up again by Brett on a long pattern, and Beebe trying to time it to make the catch, comes into the middle, and that free safety coming across hits him head on and knocks him down.
At the other end of the field, Jim, something has happened in the offensive line. We mentioned Rutgers. Bruce Wilkerson is in for Earl Dotson, so apparently Dotson's ankle has acted up, and now the Packers are getting short on numbers in that offensive line.
Isn't this amazing? This is an interesting situation.
It's just amazing that the wide receiver situation this year, again, their top guy is gone.
It's a vulnerable spot, isn't it? And down at the 20-yard line is Beebe. It's going to be a second down at 10 when we get back to play here, and the ball is at the 34-yard line.
They say Blades can't run anymore, but he can still put on the hammer when he wants to.
Benny Blades is 6'1", 221 pounds, so you're not being hit by some little tiny cornerback. You're being hit by a good-sized man.
Really, I didn't think that was a great pass by Brett Favre, Jim. That was one of those, okay, I'm going to throw it down there and let's see if BB can catch it. There was two defenders around there. Probably shouldn't have thrown the ball, but...
You know, for your family's banking, rely on the best. Rely on First Financial Bank, currently the best bank in Wisconsin, according to Money Magazine. First Financial Bank, an equal housing lender and a member FDIC. Well, they're still working on BB down there at the 20-yard line. And we're going to take a break. We'll take a break and be back after this on the Packer, from your local station, by the way, on the Packer Radio Network.
Two blows that had it happened to me, at least I have an excuse for why I'm kind of nutty.
Yes. I fall down, get hurt, right? Go boom, boom. It was a tough blow. He's on the sidelines, and the doctors are examining him. It appears to be a blow to the head. So it's going to be a second down and 10. Split the two running backs. Again, the Packers are trailing 10-7. Here's Favre back to throw. Favre is sacked. Back at the 28-yard line. He cocked his arm. Now a flag thrown late on the play. And nobody's getting up very quickly down there either.
What if that was a face mask?
Well, Favre is very slow to get up, and Tom White threw his flag from standing off to the side, and the ball is back at the 28-yard line.
Aaron Taylor allowing way too much penetration by Luther Ellis, who scored the sack.
Let's hear what Tom White has to say. He started to signal for a personal foul. Then he's having a discussion.
He started to finish roughing the passer.
Well, it's face mask against Detroit. And you know what? He's changing it, Max, from a 15 to a 5-yarder. He was going to go 15 yards, and it appears the official on this near side had words with him, and he decided not to do that. So let's see if he's going to go 5 rather than the 15. It looks like he's going just the 5. Back.
Face mask, number 94, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, and by rule, the ball must get back to the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Well, okay, the sack was 7 yards, but by rule it goes back to the 10-yard line. But I will tell you that Tom White had made the motion for a personal foul, which would have been a 15-yard penalty, and then changed his mind on the play.
And it
was talked out of.
Would have been the wrong call, though. I mean, that was incidental on the face mask.
Yeah, it was definitely a sack because somebody came in right, got on Favre's back. I didn't see the face mask, but...
Well, it's 2nd down and 10, and the Packers haven't moved here for a couple of plays. Howard goes in motion. Quick slant pattern, this time thrown behind the intended receiver, Terry Mickens. A step in front of him, and he might have had a little edge on that corner out there, too, Max. The corner came up quickly, Greg Jeffries, to put the hit on him, and the ball was just slightly behind.
Yeah, that comes into the fact that they haven't worked together this year probably is the reason for that being behind him.
If Mickens gets that ball, Max, or rather Larry, with his bulk, he might have broken that tackle easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of play to do anything with it. To get a big play out of it, it's got to catch the ball in stride, and something that was an impossibility there.
But now it becomes a 3rd down and 10. 10-7 in favor of the Detroit Lions. We have 10 minutes remaining here in the second quarter of the game. So here's Brett up under center, waiting the play, goes straight back in the pocket. Gets some pressure and a little force. Now he glances away from him. He's got a man open out there. Oh! Got to be a flag thrown. Desmond Howard running out in the open, and the defender, who was Ryan McNeil, had no choice really but to grab him, and he grabbed him. That'll be pass interference.
Yeah, the defender never picked up the ball, Jim, and when you don't pick up the ball, you end up getting right in their face, and it's always interference.
And Max, he didn't have to interfere that time. I mean, the ball wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, the ball was underthrown. He just ripped down Desmond Howard. Howard out there running the fly pattern. And it goes all the way to the 25-yard line for a first down, and that's a 41-yard penalty against the Detroit Lions. We may have a high-scoring game if things like this continue here today.
I'll tell you, a big break for the Pack, because as Larry said, there was no reason for interference there. That was not going to be caught.
Ball is a first down at the 25-yard line of Detroit. 10-7 in favor of the Lions. Now the Packers shift everybody in the backfield. 4 men change position.
Beebe's back in.
Here is the handoff. This is Edgar Bennett trying to slide to the outside. Still goes to the corner. And finally is ripped out of bounds somewhere at around the 28-yard line. And there's Ryan McNeil. He is all over the official down at the 23-yard line. I thought that Edgar Bennett had a little hole inside early and refused it and stretched it out, and that's when they caught up with it.
That's because you've been watching Sanders. Sanders he'd have been in that thing and over the goal line laughing at you.
Jim, actually, the Packers did seal the point pretty well. Got the end man in the line of scrimmage. Aaron Taylor did a nice job pulling and getting the guy on the ground, but Edgar did stretch it to the sideline.
He stretched it out and might have had a little inside cut. All right, it's going to be a second down. Let's call it 8 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Split the two running backs, Henderson and Edgar Bennett, on the second down play for Brett Favre. Again, they switch and move Henderson over a little bit to the right. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket looking for a block, gets it, then really gets hit as he fires it up down the sidelines. It is incomplete, intended for Beebe on a corner pattern, a long corner pattern, and just as soon as he released it, Brett Favre got knocked down on the play.
Yeah, he threw that, what do they call that play, Larry?
Fade.
Fade, yeah, and it was no chance.
Jim's the name.
Who?
I'm Jim, he's Larry.
I was talking to Larry.
I know, but I answered.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew.
Palm, that's Palm over there. Yeah, right.
I didn't know you cared.
It's going to be third down. 3rd and 8. And the ball resting at the 23-yard line. Mickens and Beebe are right this time, and Anthony Morgan to the left for the Packers. Brett straight back in the pocket. Here they come. Little screen off to Dorsey Levens. Lot of room. Levens to the 15. Levens to the 12. Maybe the 13, but a first down for the Packers. And again, a perfectly timed screen.
And a good job by Aaron Taylor staying on his feet, and that allowed him to sustain his block on Reggie Brown. Levens picking up extra yardage as a result.
Max, it's when you call the screen that is so important.
Well, it really is, and that is as good a setup on a screen as I've seen lately, Jim. They didn't have any resistance out there. I was surprised they didn't score on it.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line for the Packers, who trail 10-7.
In the past, this has been Keith Jackson's territory.
Morgan and Beebe are off to the left side, and split right is Terry Mickens for the Packers. Favre looks to his lone running back, Dorsey Levens, tightens him up a little bit. Here's Brett on the first down play. The quick handoff to Levens, gets to the outside, gets the corner at the 10, upfield to about the 5. Now they're going to rule he stepped out where? Well, they haven't ruled yet. They're going to say he stepped out inside the 5, down to about the 4, a gain of 8.
Nice job by Kenny Rutgers at left tackle, sustaining his block, and again, staying on his feet to get that done.
And he just got a little pat on the rump from Brett Favre saying, attaboy.
And Dorsey ought to pat him on the back, too.
But was that an audible? Did they change that at the line of scrimmage?
By the looks of it, with people shuffling their feet and so forth, I would believe so.
So it's going to be second down and about a yard to go at the 4-yard line of Detroit. Mickens left, Beebe slot left. Got Jackson as a wing on the right side for the Packers on second down and a yard to go at the 4-yard line. Here's Brett up under, waiting with a single running back. Here's Brett on the handoff up the middle. Big hole, first down, at about the 1, Edgar Bennett. Big hole up the middle. Nice off the ball blocking by the Packers up front.
You know, and a surprise element there, Jim, because so many times in that tight flank formation with Jackson and Chamorro lined up on the right side, they run one of those little patterns into the end zone. That time they came right at him and surprised him.
8:12 remaining here in the first half of the ballgame. 10-7 the Detroit Lions, but the Packers have a first and goal about 1.5 yards away from the goal line of the Detroit Lions, who now make 3 situational down changes.
It's been a great half for the punters.
First and goal at the 1-yard line. Everybody in tight. Here is Brett Favre, play action fake, looks to the fade, then goes to the corner. Caught, touchdown, Terry Mickens coming across. Chamorro took him outside. Mickens gets his first chance to jump into the stands, and the Packers regain the lead.
Brett Favre special, Jim. He just lobbed that thing over the defense, and there was Mickens in perfect position. Beautiful pass.
Mickens lined up on the right side, fought his way through a couple defenders. They're obviously playing zone, went to the back of the end zone, big touchdown.
You know what the key to that play really was? The offensive line play that gave Brett time enough to let it develop. Chamorro went to the outside. He had to wait for Mickens to come all the way across, and they gave him the time to do that. That's 23 touchdown passes this season, and the first ever NFL touchdown for Terry Mickens. So the try for the extra point. The ball is down. The kick is up. 14-10. The Packers back with the more right after we pause for this. This is the Packer Radio Network.
Hey, Dad, can I try your new McDonald's Deluxe sandwich?
I don't know, Jim.
Our ball game today brought to you by State Farm Insurance and the State Farm agents throughout Wisconsin. For all your family insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Here's the kickoff by Hintrick, a high floater that Milburn's going to take at about the 10, to the 15, to the 20. On his feet, try to get to the outside and dropped it about the 28-yard line. You know, it appears that Detroit has very good special teams play. And Milburn gives them decent field position out at the 28-yard line. A 14-10 ball game. We have not had a punt yet.
Well, when they lost Mel Gray, they found out in the 95 season they were pretty returnless, and so they signed Milburn from Denver just to pick up that end of the game.
First down for Don Mikowski, who so far is 3 out of 6 for 21 yards. The story has been Barry Sanders. He has 88 yards, 83 yards, they say, rushing so far. Here's a man in motion, and then back to the outside goes Metzlars, and the handoff goes to Sanders, stretching the field up through to about the 35-yard line before he can be ridden down on the play. And a gain of 6 yards. Tackle is made by Wayne Simmons on the outside for the Packers.
I see the Lions right tackle, Zephyrus Moss, getting all excited because they're running at Reggie, but actually he's just getting in his way momentarily. Sanders is so quick. When he takes that hole, I mean, nobody can get off a block quick enough to stop him.
So Sanders with a gain of about 6 yards on the play, and that gives him up to 89 on our board. Here is a second down and about 4 to go. And a handoff to Sanders, this time in traffic. He's going to be ridden down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard to the 36-yard line. Gilbert Brown got him to the ankles and wouldn't let him go that time and bring him down at about the 36-yard line. So no gain for Barry Sanders on the play.
It's obvious so far. Lions cannot stop our offense. If we can stop Barry Sanders, we win this game easily.
Okay. It's going to be third down at about 3. This is where they've been dangerous so far. Perriman, who was injured early, is back to the left side. We've had a couple of receivers down. Beebe's been down twice. And he's still playing. Morton in motion to the near side for Mikowski. Goes back to the outside, and Don straight back to throw it. Mikowski in trouble, and down he goes. I mean hard. He goes down at the 28-yard line, and he was ripped down on a play. Is it Gilbert?
No, Santana Dotson.
It's Dotson, and Dotson threw him to the ground hard on the tackle all the way back at the 30-yard line, and a sack for Mack.
Great inside pass rush move by Santana Dotson, beating Mike Compton.
Wait a minute, there's a holding call against the Packers. Holy cow.
Oh, automatic first with that.
An automatic first down for the Detroit Lions. I mean, now where did the hold occur? The ball is back at the 30. The line of scrimmage is the 36. Santana Dotson dumped Mikowski. Let's listen to Tom White.
Holding, number 59, defense, 5 yards, first down.
Must have been a linebacker. Must have grabbed one of the receivers coming
Simmons
across.
did, yes. Simmons on the holding call, and that one hurt the Packers. Dotson will not get the sack. Boy, but he got in there, and Mikowski wouldn't go down, so he just kind of took him and turned him upside down. I was concerned about Mikowski's well-being, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's a first down at the 41-yard line. Mikowski has been treated roughly in that play. Sanders, the lone running back. 3 wide receivers to the left for Detroit, 1 to the right. One of those wide receivers is Metzlars, who is a tight end, of course. And here's Mikowski, short drop, quick pattern to the outside, threw it short of Metzlars at about the 43. Butler had the coverage on the play, and Metzlars, the big guy, couldn't go down and get it.
Metzlar's got to be as old as you, isn't he, Jim?
6'7", 254, 15th year from Wabash. Is it Wabash, Indiana? And I didn't appreciate that remark. Yes, I did. And the answer is no. I wish I were as young as he is.
He's 36.
I wish I were as young as he is.
Pete, this is a young man's game. What are you doing out there?
Second down and 10 at the 41-yard line for the Detroit Lions. 14-10, the Packers. Metzlars goes again, this time to the outside on motion, and here's the delay to Barry Sanders. Oh, he got away after a great try by Simmons, but he's caught and out of bounds at the 39. Simmons was in on him so quickly, he had him stopped back there, but again, the clock is stopped. No flag on the play. And then Sanders did a little twirl, got out of there, and came to the sideline.
I mean, that was one of his greatest runs all afternoon. I mean, he avoids Simmons, then he stiff arms Leroy Butler, who's a sure tackler, right to the ground. I mean, this Sanders is something else.
Third
After
down
that, he's
and
on
11.
the
The problem with it was all behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, you feel great about stopping him for a loss of a couple of yards. Third down, and let's call it 12 yards to go for Detroit for the first down. 5:36 to go in the first half of a very interesting football game. Man in motion again, Metzlars. As Mikowski looks over the defense, goes straight back in the pocket. Here they come after him, and now Don running. Don flips the ball upfield. It is caught by Herman Moore. And let's see where they mark it. I think he got the first down. He originally had it, and then they're going to mark it where he goes down on the play.
He's still got it.
Yeah, he does have the first down, and Herman appears to be hurt at the play. He has a bad back, you know. And they're all signaling to bring it out. They'll bring the sticks out and measure as well. I thought that Herman Moore actually caught that ball about a yard up from where he is and was driven back there. So it's actually a favorable mark for the Packers. This ball game brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser. Now introducing Newborn on Dating. It's the day your bud was born because fresh beer tastes better. All right, well, let's see.
What's Jim Palm think?
He's got it, Jim, or not?
Oh, yeah.
First down. He's right. Herman Moore is still down on one knee, however, at the 49-yard line of the Packers. You know what? What we're getting now is a game of third downs, and both teams are handling the third downs very well indeed.
I think that's when Don Mikowski is at his best. Yeah. We watched him here for years. Is when things start breaking down, start moving around a little bit. I think that's when he's at his best.
You know what? I wish we had an instant replay. He might have been across the line.
No, he wasn't across the line, Joe, but one thing I've noticed, you know what I noticed about Mikowski, especially in this type of offense, is he's not making up his mind quick enough, and that's why he's getting in trouble all the time. This offense is set up to where you got to just get back there 3 or 4 steps and let her go, and he hasn't been doing that.
Well, I thought with the sack that he took, he's looking a little quick, but he managed to get out of the stress situation and get himself into a throwing position. So it is a first down at the 49-yard line for the Detroit Lions. And the Packers may have jumped. They did. Sean Jones, here's the handoff to Barry Sanders to the outside. He's still in bounds.
Nobody can stop that quick.
He goes down to the 38-yard line. It appears Sean Jones may have jumped off sides. That's where the flag was thrown. It's either on Jones or it's an illegal procedure call. Let's see what the officials are going to rule. Jones jumped first, but
what's amazing, he still got tied up to where
they're going to put the ball to the 38-yard line, and it's offside on Sean Jones.
Well, if you watch this replay, nobody could keep from going out of bounds right there. In fact, I think he did go out of bounds, but they didn't see it.
Well, the ball's at the 38-yard line. You just worry until Barry Sanders is on the ground, and he continues to be a real problem. He has now gone to 98 yards, Jim, is that? 98 yards rushing. First down at the 38-yard line. 14-10 ball game in favor of the Green Bay Packers. Here's the first down play for the Detroit Lions, and Mikowski waiting. Mikowski on the right, and the handoff to Sanders. Through the hole, he's all the way down to the 31-yard line before he could really get a handle on him by the Packers. This is about as vintage Barry Sanders as you'll ever see.
Larry, what What kind of blocking are they using to get that hole open that quick? Are they just man blocking?
A little stretch blocking, and they're not moving anybody off the line of scrimmage. They sealed Gilbert Brown, just pinned him at the line of scrimmage, and Reggie, they don't get him totally blocked, but by himself, not even Reggie can bring down Barry Sanders.
It's going to be second down and about 3. A gain of 7 on the play by Barry Sanders. Second down and 3 at the Packers' 31-yard line. Man in motion to the near side, Metzlars. Here's the ride and the handoff. Sanders caught in the backfield this time and dropped. Oh, and now he's going to do a little shoving against Wayne Simmons at about the 32-yard line. Loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, Wayne did a little pulling on his shoulder pads there late. You know how tough Barry is. He wanted to get it on.
That time, we had 2 Packer defenders, Sean Jones and Wayne Simmons, defeat their blockers right at the point of attack. Then you got a chance against Barry.
Third down, however, and 4 yards to go for Detroit at the Packer 32-yard line. This is a big play right here. Third down and 4. And this time, Herman Moore, who's back in there, starts the in-motion play. It looked like Detroit moved on the right side, and they did. Detroit moving on the right side, no play. McCoskey holding up his arm saying, wait, no, don't hit me. Play is over. And it was. Really interesting lineup that time. They had a flanker on the right side, and Moore trying to come in motion, actually had to go behind the flanker and then move around him to come across the field.
You know, one thing,
and then that flanker moved.
One of the things that's obvious, Jim, is this offensive line is not used to the cadence of Mikowski. You know, you played with one quarterback for years, and all at once you got a new quarterback. That's about the 3rd time the offense has been offside.
Well, here's another one of those third down plays. This time it's 9. With 3:07 to go here in the first half of the game, 14-10, the Packers. And the Packers have had the ball only twice all day long. Detroit's having it for the 3rd time today. In motion is Johnny Morton. Here's Mikowski back to throw. Mikowski in traffic. The ball deflected, incomplete.
Perfect
Almost caught on a deflection by Doug Evans, but it went off the shoulder pad of Johnny Morton. And so it'll be 4th down, and Jason Hansen will try a field goal. This will be about a 49-yarder by Jason Hansen.
Boy, a receiver. I know the feeling there. I mean, it was
Herman Moore, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Herman Moore.
Oh, was it Moore? I beg your pardon. I thought it was Morton. It's Herman Moore then. All right.
And Mikowski went over and said, Herman, what are you doing to me? And Herman said, well, I just couldn't catch it.
This is going to be a 55-yarder. Beg your pardon. A 55-yard field goal. He has a 51-yarder this season. Well, no, it's a fake. It's a punt by Hansen, and he punts it out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
Pretty good play.
Yeah, not bad. Punts it out of bounds. We'll get a timeout on the field, I believe. We'll take a break and be back after we pause for this. This is the Packer Radio Network.
Check out the value in store.
Was that you had the coasters? She sent us some coasters.
I've got my, let's see, what's this month?
This November.
I've got my November 1 Budweiser sitting on here right now.
First down at the 13-yard line for the Packers. Here's Brett Favre, play action fake. Looking, wants to go long. Down the sidelines, there's Don Beebe, but he threw it out of bounds. He got dumped on the play as well by the Detroit Lions. Robert Pourchet got in to dump him as he tried to hang that ball up to the right sidelines, and it went over Beebe's head and out of bounds. Well, True Value is proud to sponsor the True Value NFL Man of the Year Award, honoring players who've made a difference both on and off the field. True Value, the official hardware store of the NFL. And by the way, the Packer True Value NFL Man of the Year is Mark Chmura. He received that honor this past Wednesday here in a little ceremony at Lambeau Field.
That's great. He looks like a plumber. Isn't that where you get your plumbing equipment, from True Value?
Yeah, he does. He had me there for a while. Going to be second down and 10. McCoskey, short, quick drop to the outside. Caught out there by Mickens, who dives to the 21. A couple of yards shy of the first down. Terry Mickens on just a quick out pattern. And you can see that Brett likes to throw to Terry Mickens.
Terry Mickens is a talented young athlete. Yeah. Just needs some time, some experience out there.
Third down and 2 yards to go in order to keep the ball. Both teams have 3 timeouts. It is a 14-10 ball game. Each team has had it for 3 times. I think Brett's just going to let the clock wind down. I believe that's exactly what he's going to do to the 2-minute warning. And he walks toward the sideline. We'll take the 2-minute timeout. We'll take a break. Back after this from your local station. This is the Packer Radio Network.
For down-home cooking and hospitality, treat yourself to the Happy Hour Cafe in Rice Lake. Every visit to the Happy Hour Cafe is a happy visit.
Here, because you can keep possession for the rest of the first half if you get the first down. If not, that means Detroit has the ball and a chance to perhaps take the lead at halftime. So Brett Favre on 3rd down and 2 at the 21-yard line in his own territory. Short drop, rolls to the right. Is he going to run with it? He looks. Now he floats it upfield. There's nobody there in the middle of it. And fortunately broken up by Don Beebe and a flag thrown on Beebe.
No, that's that's offensive interference.
Yeah.
He pushed.
He did push, trying to keep the defender away from catching the ball. Now, that was an interesting throw by Brett Favre, and there have been a couple of ducks that have flown out.
Interesting's a polite way to put it.
Well, there have been a couple of ducks that have flown out that way, haven't there?
Well, he has kept throwing this fade pattern when nobody was open.
Beebe has been covered on throughout most of the ball game on that. That means Detroit's going to get the ball back. It was clearly a push on the part of Don Beebe, and they'll decline the penalty because it's 4th down, and Craig Hentrick will come in to punt for the Packers.
If we need a positive note right now, Kenny Rutgers has played very well this quarter. Really held up a nice.
Right. Well, where else can you find the best return team? At your local McDonald's with fan favorites like the Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder with cheese. You'll want to return there time and again. All right. Then Milburn back at the 30, and Detroit's going to have a golden chance with 1:54 and 3 timeouts remaining. We'll catch you up on all of the scores here in just a moment as we have them to this point. They're waiting for Craig Hentrick to take the snap. Good snap from center. No real rush. He drives one up. Now it's kind of hanging up. There's a good wind up there. That ball is dying, and Milburn makes the catch at the 43-yard line. Max, you could see the wind knocking that ball backwards as it got up there to its apex.
Yeah,
and Detroit with a good position.
To its where?
Its apex. That's way up there. That's just, see that apex is just above that light pole out there on the right side. Ball is at the 43. Detroit takes over, leading 14-10. Well, this season, every Packer score is 1 for the MAC Fund. Packers Radio Network and participating sponsors have teamed up to continue to fight against childhood cancer with Scoring for MAC. All right, 1st down, Detroit at the 43-yard line. And Detroit has put up a stern test here for the Packers in the first half. Mikowski with the 1st down play. Again, has a wing on the right side for Detroit. And here's the delay handoff and a flag and a whistle. The delay handoff, and again, the play is stopped. It's either because one of two things happens. It's either motion or illegal procedure on the part of the offense, or the defensive man touches the other person before the offensive man before the play gets underway. Makes contact. But it's against Detroit, so they were moving prior to the snap. So it'll be a 1st down and 15. Detroit's had a lot of penalties, 7 already in the first half of the game, and the Packers have had 5.
Well, most of their penalties have been from the cadence from the court not getting off the ball at the right time.
1st and 15, Detroit. Back this time at the 38-yard line in their own territory, 14-10, the Packers. Here is the ride and the handoff to Berry, trying to get to the outside. Again, he bounces off tacklers. They force him and string it out, and he gets back to the 39-yard line. But again, he was hit back at the 36, and he just bounces off the pile. He's got such great balance that he can keep his feet under, and he just keeps sliding to the outside until there's a hole. Then he plants, and then he goes upfield.
I think it's unusual when your 2nd and 15 play is a sweep by Sanders. That means you got a lot of confidence in your running back.
And I can understand why.
By the way, I think Philadelphia's gone ahead of Dallas. Wouldn't that be a shame?
Well, we were going to give you the scores. Will you get those all gathered in, and I'll let you give them here in a second. 2nd down at about 14 for the Detroit Lions. Perriman goes in motion to the line of scrimmage, and a play-action fake by Don Mikowski. Fires it up the sidelines. It is caught and out of bounds at about midfield. It is caught out there by Herman Moore, but the flag is thrown in the backfield. The flag is actually thrown away from the play, and let's see what it's against the Packers, it appears. It would be an automatic 1st down if it is holding against Green Bay.
Doug Evans is looking at the official very early.
Man, we are helping to keep them alive in some of these drives. That would have been a 3rd down and about 6 if the play stood up. Now it will be an automatic 1st down if they take the penalty. Or do you want to take the play, which would not be the brightest thing to do, because with 1:34, you need those 2 extra downs. Well, they're going to take the holding penalty.
Defense.
1st down.
5-yard penalty. 1st down.
All right, so they get the ball to the 44-yard line.
Second one they've called on Wayne.
That's a big penalty, too. When you get an automatic 1st down and you got them set back like that.
1:34 to go here in the first half. It's a 14-10 ball game. The Lions are having the ball for the 4th time today. The Packers have had it just 3 times in the first half. 1st down at the 44. We need a mistake here by the Lions, a turnover of some kind. Man in motion is Metzlars again for Detroit. And Mikowski straight back in the pocket. Now he's caught. Spun down, Santana Dotson. Santana Dotson with the sack for Mack, and money to the Mack Fund compliments of Budweiser beer.
The sack he scored that didn't count, he beat Mike Compton to the inside. That time he took him to the outside. Just a one-on-one pass rush move.
Clock at a minute 29 and running now. 14-10. McCoskey comes to the line of scrimmage with a second down and about 15. Ball's back at the 38-yard line. McCoskey, same formation, drops back to throw. Here they come again. He stepped up away from the ball, fired upfield, and incomplete. Ripped away from Herman Moore on a great play by Craig Newsom. Moore had the ball in his hands in midair, and Newsom just raked the ball out of his hands straight up and knocked it away.
Yeah, beautiful defensive play because definitely he had the ball in his hands, and he took it away from him.
Still a minute 11, but now a third down and 15 for Detroit.
Remember just a few years ago how the Packers always got beat in those jump ball type situations. That time Craig Newsom dramatically improved over last
Doug
season.
Evans with his athletic ability, too. They can go up and with him and get the ball.
And Herman Moore is one of the best ones at doing that.
Third down and 15 for McCoskey. McCoskey did a great job of escaping the rush that last play. Here he is again, straight back in the pocket, and here they come. Now he has plenty of time. He comes up short to Johnny Morton, and Morton's going to be brought down at about the 42-yard line. The Packers will stop the clock right there with a minute 1 to go. They stopped the clock with a minute 1 and a kicking down for the Detroit Lions. So that was good defense by the Packers that time, and they prevent a first down other than by penalty for Detroit.
Not many linebackers can run pretty well with wide receivers, but Wayne Simmons does have his share of athletic ability.
Remaining as Detroit will kick the ball back to the Packers on the punt. Mark Royals is the Detroit kicker. He gets a low snap from center. They come hard. They can
call holding.
Grief, and they're going to. As Eugene Robinson, the ball is down at about the 10-yard line. Eugene Robinson was absolutely ripped down by the Detroit Lions as he tried to get inside to block it, and the penalty will be called against Ryan Stewart.
Well, that's like getting 10 yards. That's 10 yards less you have to go here if you.
But you also lose 9 seconds is what you lost on the clock, and that sometimes can be important in this case. You weren't going to get any run back on that play, were you?
No, you weren't.
High floater.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dorsey Levens went after Ryan Stewart after Stewart tackled Robinson. It was fun to watch, really.
You know, you could win a new Artie Cat Puma Deluxe snowmobile. No purchases necessary. Just enter when you visit your participating Artie Cat dealer, including Morse Enterprises in Wisconsin Dells and Auto Parts Power Sports in Oconto Falls. Now the ball goes all the way back to the 33-yard line with 52 seconds remaining. But it is fourth down and 25 to go for Detroit. All right, Mark Royals. I never pay much attention to punters' averages who punt in domes, but he averages 44 yards. High snap from center. Robinson coming again. This is returnable. Here's Desmond Howard at the 32. Desmond Howard to the right, to the 40, to the 45, to the midfield stripe, and down to the 48-yard line. So the Packers get good field position with 42 seconds and 2 timeouts remaining.
2 nice blocks. Lamont Hollenquist and Roderick Mullen helping that effort along.
One thing is obvious. That penalty gave them much better field position.
Oh, yeah.
They're just a completion or so away from at least a field goal and possibly a touchdown.
Well, they marked the ball out at the 50-yard line. I'm not sure how they saw that because he went out at about the 48. But it'll be a first down for the Packers. You need about a 20-yarder down and out to the sidelines. You got Mickens spit off wide to the right for the Packers. Beebe's a slot on the right. And out of the backfield goes Edgar Bennett to the left side in motion, and back goes Brett Favre to throw. He comes up short to Terry Mickens. Mickens goes down the sidelines and out of bounds. First down at the 40-yard line, maybe the 39. Mickens did the right thing. He got 10 yards, and he got out of bounds, and that took 6 seconds at the 40-yard line. So it is a first down for the Packers. That's not terribly important at the moment. The time is 36 seconds and 2 timeouts. So, Larry, you can still throw the ball over the middle.
You betcha. I mean, the Packers are in good shape to pick up a score, field goal or otherwise, before the half.
You need a good completion here. First down at the 40-yard line. Brett straight back in the pocket. Great protection to the sidelines. Threw it away from Terry Mickens. Mickens almost rounded that pattern rather than squared it off. And it needed to be squared off a little bit.
Well, that time they had a little short, long coverage there, Jim, and that's why he threw it away, because normally you would run that halfback off so you could make that square out, but he didn't leave. He just waited on him because he had help deep.
It's a 14-10 ball game, by the way, in favor of the Packers with 33 seconds to go. And what an interesting first half it has been. Packers also will get the second half kickoff. Keep that in mind, so you could really do some damage here. Uh-oh, it looks like Rutgers set up early. Here is Favre back to throw, comes up over the middle. It's caught by Mickens, and Mickens has a first down at the 25, maybe the 23, and Brett takes a quick timeout. With 23 seconds remaining, he's down to the 23-yard line. I thought, sure, Kenny Rutgers had set up a little early that time on the play. No flag, and the Packers take a timeout and have the ball down at the 23-yard line. A pretty good move.
Excellent move, Jim. Wide open was Mickens. Mickens is making a pretty impressive debut here today.
At the moment, and that medical health for all of the players is uppermost in their mind. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. 14-10. Still one timeout remaining for the Packers. So again, Favre can go over the middle if he needs to. Mickens so far today, well, we'll give you his total, 5 catches. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Again, good protection. Now it breaks down, and he has to run right, and he's tackled and takes an immediate timeout. That was the last thing he could do, was to be tackled as he tried to run to the right. It appeared that the rookie, Keith Waldrop, may have gotten the tackle and the sack on the play.
But that's not a smart play by Brett Favre. All he had to do is throw the ball out of bounds, Jim. You can't take that. That makes it a 50-something yard field goal.
I think Luther Ellis made the sack.
Oh, did he?
Brett, I mean, the guy was blocked. Brett broke contain out there, and it destroyed the proportion of the protection there.
I think it's about the third time today, though, Max, in defense of Brett Favre, that he has been tackled from behind when he didn't see the guy coming. He knew he was back there, but he gets tackled before he can make the decision to throw the ball. Now then, he almost has to go down and out. He's got a second down and a ball back at the 36. He could conceivably come over the middle and get the clock stopped, but it's almost take what you can get to get it into field goal range and then work for the field goal. And the key here is that it's only second down, so you can get a quick pump and down.
I think one of the other keys is protection in this case. The Lion cornerbacks are not great football players. I mean, we don't have our best wide receivers, but they are not great football players against anybody. We can get the protection. We can launch one.
Well, Brett Favre now is back at the 36-yard line. If you had to kick a field goal from here, this would be a 52-yarder. And the way that wind has been affecting the football, that might be very difficult to do.
Yeah, it's dead into the wind if you kick from here.
All right, so Brett needs to pick up some yardage on a play for the Packers. Here is the second down play from the 36. He's straight back in the pocket. He's got protection, comes to the sidelines, and overshot the intended receiver. That one time, Mickens went down to about the 20 and stopped to the outside, and Brett led him inside with 13 seconds remaining. Now I'm not sure that you've got time to throw one inbounds and get another play to stop the clock, and it's third down anyway.
Well, like you say, I think they'll just try to get that fade pattern, which is either complete or it's out of bounds, so that's probably what they're going to call.
So we'll see what happens here. A good 6, 7, 10 yards would really be helpful for Chris Jackie. Chris Jackie, so far this season, 14 out of 18 in field goal attempts, and he has a 53-yarder. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Brett looking. Brett's going to throw the fly pattern down here into the corner, and it's intercepted. Picked off in the end zone, and that'll stop the drive there. That was a semi-alley-oop, a Hail Mary, but it was picked off by Ryan McNeil. He just had the play in his sights all the way, and really, Beebe and Mickens, I don't think, picked up the ball very quickly.
Max, did you see Chamorro running down the middle on that one? Did you happen to pick that up?
No,
I thought he was pretty wide open.
I'm surprised that Brett didn't pick him up, though, because he loves him in that situation.
6 seconds remaining here in this first half. And today's game brought to you by Super America, proud sponsors of the Super America Super Kickoff Contest, where you can win $6,200. That's the 7th interception by Brett Favre to go with 23 touchdown passes this season. McCaskey with one play. Got to worry about Barry Sanders when you only got one play left. Now McCaskey takes the knee. That'll be the end of the first half. Interesting game. One half done. 14-10, the Packers. We'll begin our halftime programming after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Guaranteed quality. Guaranteed quality for less. Rounding.
Have to score from at least 62 yards away in a single play in this quarter, and then you have to call 414-799-1620 within 6 minutes and 20 seconds in order to win $620. All right, here we go. Third quarter. The Packers will receive, and they lead in the ball game 14-10. 2 one-yard touchdown passes by Don McCaskey, by Brett Favre, to none by Don McCaskey here in the first half of the ball game, and that's the difference. McCaskey with a run by Barry Sanders of 18 yards for a touchdown, and a field goal by Jason Hansen. All right, Hansen will do the kicking off as we start the third quarter of the game. Boy, it's still a beautiful day. Still no clouds. Still comfortable if you're in the stands, but if you're in these west stands, however, Max, it starts to get a little cold because the sun is hitting everybody in the east stands at the moment.
You're right about that, but I'll tell you, the only reason Detroit's in this game is Barry Sanders right now, Jim. He has enabled him to control the football.
Ball is blown off the tee by the wind, and we know that there is wind down there. It's much harder to tell now that both ends of the stadium are filled in, and there aren't any flags that we can see easily. You have to lean way out, and now you can see we're leaning way out here that those flags are just stiff into that wind that are blowing to the north. Here is the kick by Hansen, and this is a line drive with that wind at his back, and as goes all the way to the back of the end zone, and Desmond Howard says we better start from the 20, and he'll put it down there, and that's where the Packers will start, from the 20-yard line. 14-10 in favor of the Green Bay Packers as we go to this third quarter.
Ken Rutgers getting the call again for the start the second half.
Kenny's starting to feel a little bit of the ball game. Played the second quarter.
Earl Dotson's back in as well. Apparently he just had back spasms in the first half.
All right, first down at the 20-yard line for the Packers. Not much of a running game for the Packers in the first half of this game, just 27 yards. And you're going to have some running against any number of teams. Bennett and William Henderson in the backfield. Brett Favre, play action. Comes up over the middle to Keith Jackson. He's caught, and down he goes at about the 27 or 8-yard line. Jackson with his first catch of the day, just a quick little up and out for about 8 yards to the 28-yard line of the Packers. Second down and 2 yards to go. Quick rhythm pattern, almost like a running play, because it's just a short yardage play.
It's a sure bet. Find the hole in the coverage, stop, and make the catch.
I'm surprised, really, Jim, that hasn't been the backbone of their offense in the first half. I thought they would do a lot of that, and that's the first time we've seen it.
Well, the two tight ends now have 2 catches. Man in motion to the right is Edgar Bennett. Each has 15 on the season. The handoff goes to Henderson, trying to sweep to the right. Drives across to about the 30. Actually rolled over defender and got to the 30-yard line. He got up on the back of Henry Thomas and rolled over Thomas or Pepper Johnson, one of the two. It might have been Pepper Johnson, rolled to the first down at the 31-yard line.
Real good job by Earl Dotson getting the line of scrimmage sealed, creating the initial lane.
Fans, today's game is brought to you by Time Corporation. Do you know how to spell time? Here in Packerland, we spell it T-Y-M-E. If you don't have a time card, ask your financial institution about how to get one. Ball to the 31-yard line. First down for the Packers. 14-10 in favor of the Packers. We're early in the third quarter of the game. Now Henderson goes to a wing on the right side and leaves Bennett in the backfield, and here comes Favre, and it's breaking down, and
he lost the ball
behind again, and the ball was loose for a moment. And did he get it back? Apparently he did, but boy, he took some punishment when he dropped that. Big old Robert Porsche dropped on top of him.
Now Earl Dotson totally healthy. I don't think Porsche beats him on that, but all Porsche did was take the corner on him, beat him upfield. When Earl's moving like Earl can move, that doesn't happen.
So Porsche and another sack of the Packers here today. That's the fourth one today for Brett Favre. So the defense of the Detroit Lions kind of maligned coming in. It's played pretty well.
I'll tell you, that was a good job of stripping the ball from Brett. Brett was lucky. We were lucky we got that ball back.
He lost 6 yards on the play at second down and 16. A 14-10 ball game. The defenses have been getting stronger as the game has progressed. Here's Brett, and a handoff given up the left side to Edgar Bennett to the outside, 35 to the 40, and a first down by Edgar Bennett. Oh, what a handoff by Brett Favre to Edgar Bennett. He just slipped the ball to Edgar, and Edgar gets about 16, 17 yards on the play.
Jim, let's talk about that blocking as well. Frankie Winters blocking back on Henry Thomas. Adam Timmerman pulling up for Pepper Johnson. Very well executed.
All the way to the 42-yard line, 17 yards for Edgar Bennett on the play. That'll help your running game right there.
Packers pulled a little Sanders on him there. Jim Bennett really made a couple of great moves there, looking just like Barry Sanders.
First down at the 42-yard line for the Packers. 14-10 the ball game in favor of Green Bay here with 2.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Here's Brett Favre on the first down play. Brett, short drop, quick pattern to the outside, caught. Mickens tried to spin away, does, but then he gave up ground and loses a couple of yards. They're going to give him the yardage down to the 47. Terry's big body got him away from the first guy, but unfortunately spun him right back into the path of the second man who dropped him there.
Not a bad play, though, when you got a guy like Mickens that's strong, that can make a few yards extra. He was very close to breaking the tackle.
Yeah, Max, Mickens consistently today has shown the ability that one guy doesn't bring him down. I mean, you never think of wide receivers, real strong guys. Mickens is.
Well, Terry has certainly answered the bell today, hasn't he? That's 6 catches for Terry Mickens in the ballgame. Second down and about 6 to go. Bennett in motion to the outside. Here's Brett. swings it off to William Henderson, cuts inside to midfield, and brought down close to a first down at the 47-yard line. Caught by Reggie Brown, the linebacker on the right side, and dropped, but he does have a first down at the 47-yard line of Detroit. That was really a good look by Brett Favre. He was looking elsewhere, and then suddenly he saw Henderson just circling out of the backfield and got the ball to him quickly enough to make a move.
That's what experience does for a quarterback. Young quarterbacks, you'll see them isolate in on that one receiver that they want to go to, and if it's not there, they're through. Brett, you can go to somebody else.
So first down at the Detroit 47-yard line. The Packers started at their own 20. Here's Brett, and he hands it off to the deep back. That's Edgar Bennett. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Edgar trying to keep his feet underneath him and drive, cannot do it, and they bring him down for no gain on the play. Boy, that's difficult. You got your legs pinned underneath you, and you're trying to drive forward, and they're trying to jackhammer you down, and that's difficult. So no gain on the play. It'll be second down, and maybe a loss of about a half a yard.
Actually, the play was set up to go outside. Edgar never got there, never came close.
So it is going to be a second down and 11. Detroit has played well defensively today. 14-10 is the score in this very entertaining game. Let's catch up on some scores in a minute if we can. We've been so busy. Here's the inside handoff. Bennett trying to trap them, and he gets maybe a yard. Detroit reacted very well. It'll be third down for the Packers and 10 yards yet to go.
Packers trying to run that inside trap play they've had some success with this year, but they got caught from the backside by Kerwin Waldrop, the rookie.
So it is third down and 10. Here's a big play. Reggie Brown, no make it. Pepper Johnson goes out for Detroit. We're waiting for the new scores to arrive to catch us up to date.
Well, one interesting score is Philadelphia still leading Dallas 14-10.
Same score here, 14-10. The Packers leading. Howard goes out left. 4 wide receivers set for the Packers here on 3rd and 10. Got to give Brett some time to throw the football. Here's Favre waiting with a single running back. Short drop, quick pattern to the outside. Caught close to a first down by Desmond Howard. He's at the 38-yard line. It'll be fourth down at about a yard at the 38 of Detroit. And the Packers, Mike Holmgren, now will have to make a decision. And they're going to go with the kicking team. He didn't hesitate, did he? Didn't hesitate. It's a full yard, and they immediately call for the punt team. Ball is at the 38-yard line of Detroit, trying to pin the Lions back deep in their own territory now. Packers kept the ball for almost 6 minutes on that drive, but will get nothing out of it. That was Howard. Howard didn't have the big body to force his way forward that extra yard.
And once again, the ball thrown a little behind the receiver on that quick slant.
Here's a good snap from center, and Hendrick is just pooch kicking it.
Well, it's
up
perfect
high,
kick. Perfect
and
kick.
It is going to drop at about the 17 and takes a bounce and rolls to the 15-yard line. And that's where it'll be taken over by the Detroit Lions at their 15. We have a timeout on the field. It's 14-10 the Packers. Back after this from your local station here on the Packer. Eagles lead the Dallas Cowboys 14-10 in the third quarter. And believe it or not, it's 10-3. Oh, it's 14-13 now?
Yeah, Dallas
as we
got
speak.
A field goal, yes.
Well, and then it is 10-3. The Bears trailing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that important game.
Well, that one's 10-6.
Now it's, well, wait a minute. I'm a little behind time here. All right, first down at the 15-yard line. Herman Moore out of the lineup for Detroit. He's being evaluated for a shoulder injury. Handoff to Barry Sanders. Oh, broke a tackle back behind the line of scrimmage and gets about 3 yards out to the 18. It appeared that Brian Williams had a bead on him in the backfield and couldn't bring him down. And so he makes it out to about the 18, a gain of 3 for Barry Sanders.
I think it's obvious that Detroit does not believe they don't think they can beat the Packers throwing the football, Jim, not with McCoskey, the way they're calling these plays.
Second down. Kerriman and Morton go to the left side.
The way Barry's been running, why throw it?
Yeah, I agree.
Second down, 7 yards to go for Detroit back at the 18-yard line. And McCoskey trying to change the play as the crowd helps him out with a lot of noise. Here's McCoskey. Quick drop, quick pattern inside, and incomplete, almost ticked off by Doug Evans. Trying to run a quick slant was Fairman, and he ran right into Evans.
Yeah, and what was interesting about that is Mikowski called the audible. Wayne Simmons walked out there and took away Johnny Morton.
So it is going to be third down for Detroit. Welcome to our booth, Dave Ellard and Robin Ellard from GMC Trucks. All right. From Kettner GMC.
I got one of them Yukons.
Hey, listen, I drove one up here. I had a good time. Todd Luft and John Smith are here from Security Bank and Wilson Tool.
Yeah, but I had to pay for mine.
Third down and 7 yards to go, and Mikowski says, I can't hear. And Mikowski's going to take a timeout, I believe. Yeah, timeout Detroit. We'll take a break and be back after this on the Packer Radio Network. Morton goes split off to the left. Perriman is the slot on the left, and Glenn Milburn is in as a wide receiver on the right. Listen to the crowd helping out Don Mikowski. He gets Morton in motion. Here's Mikowski straight back in the pocket. Here they come, and down he goes back at the 10-yard line. And it appears to be, Leroy Butler is the man running out of the pattern, and he appeared to be the one who got to it.
Everybody but the kitchen sink coming that time. Doug Evans blitzed as a cornerback, and they sent Leroy Butler. Leroy Butler scores the sack.
So it is a sack for Mack, and money to the back fund. Compliments of Budweiser B. Ball goes back to the 12.
Again, a good defensive call by the whoever calls the defensive play.
Here is the kick by Royals. Nice hanger. Desmond Howard's got a lot of room to run this one back. 42, 45, to the midfield, to the 45, in traffic, to the 40, to the 36. Attaboy, Desmond, what a nice play. Desmond Howard with a nice play on the run, and the Packers have great field position.
And Lamont Hollenquist, a real good special teams player, made a great decision. Could have taken an easy block, turned up field, and was productive rather than just taking the gimme.
And a timeout on the field back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
If you're daydreaming about snow...
Window of opportunity, and Pello Windows, available at Verhalen Incorporated, make the best windows available. Pello Windows, a window for every home at a price for every pocketbook. Well, here's a great opportunity from the 37-yard line of Detroit. The Packers leading 14-10. Mikowski on the ride, and the handoff to Bennett cuts inside for about 6 yards, maybe 7. A late flag on the play, a really late flag thrown by Tom White, the referee. And he waited until that play had been completed all the way down to the 31-yard line before he threw it.
Packers running the old off-tackle power play where William Henderson kicks out on the linebacker. I think they got William Henderson on that.
That's too bad. You get a great first down play of about 7 yards. It is on Henderson, Larry. Good pickup. But they move the ball all the way back to the 47-yard line, make it 1st and 20.
Yeah, it was kind of after the fact. You hate to see a flag thrown after the ball carries 5 yards by, and then they catch you holding.
Well, I think what Tom White does, he pulled it and just didn't throw it until after it was over.
Usually running backs can get away with murder, too. They don't watch them real close on the holding.
By the way, a happy wedding anniversary, number 33, to Ken and June Schmazel. Yesterday, they had their 33rd wedding anniversary.
Oh, I thought you meant their 33rd wedding.
No.
Well, thought you were talking about me.
First down and 20. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Here they come. He steps up a lot of time. Flips it off to the right side. Chimura at the 40. Chimura to the 35. Chimura to the 33. Nice play. Didn't go through all of it. Mark just hanging out over here in the right flat. And Chimura moved it with a nice run upfield to the 33-yard line to get 14 of the 20 you needed on the first down.
Max, was Ryan McNeil going to grab grass on that or not? He wanted no part of Chimura.
Well, when you see a train running at you, it's pretty good to kind of get out of the way.
They are going to send Keith Jackson in now, and Chimura comes out on a second down and about 6 yards to go for the Packers. 6:59 to go here in the third quarter, and the Packers are leading 14-10. Very uncomfortable position at the moment because Barry Sanders has had a terrific day. So it is time that you get another touchdown. Here is Brett back to throw. Pumps. Now flips it over the middle. Keith Jackson, 20, 15, almost to 15 to the 16-yard line. A pump fake by Brett, and then he hit him over the middle.
Keith Jackson one-on-one with Benny Blades. Dekes him to the outside, and Blades just cannot stay with Keith Jackson.
But you know what, Max? Brett is just about a half yard off on these passes. A little better pass, and he was really motivating downfield.
He has not been throwing perfect passes today, Jim, but I'll say one thing. To let Keith Jackson get that open is something in itself.
Yeah, Keith had to reach back for that ball and made a terrific catch. First down at the 16-yard line. They made up 20 yards and more in just 2 plays. First down at the 16-yard line. Here's Brett straight back in the pocket. Brett looking, pumping, faking over the middle. It is caught by Beebe to the 5-yard line. Don Beebe to the 5-yard line, and now Brett seems to be getting a rhythm. He gets knocked down by 2 people, and then he turns to one of them and slaps him on the helmet. Say, nice play. That is Reggie Brown, the rookie that Brett talks to.
That's the great thing about those underneath patterns. You get linebackers trying to run with wide receivers. Not many of them can, certainly not Reggie Brown.
So it is a first down for the Packers and goal to go at the 5-yard line of the Detroit Lions. A 14-10 ball game. Split Wickens off to the left side and send Beebe to the right for Green Bay in an I formation, with the tailback being Edgar Bennett. Here's Brett up at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to stay with this formation. No, he may be changing it. He waits for the snap, and here is the ride and the handoff to Bennett. Bennett's caught in the backfield and gets back only to the 6-yard line. That play never did seem to have any certainty to it, did it? It was just kind of...
No certainty or blocking, Jim.
Where are we going to go with this
thing? It was
thing?
a certain loser from the time it started.
There was a lot of Olay blocks on that one, guys.
The ball went back to the 7-yard line, a loss of 2. Here comes Keith Jackson into the lineup. Today's Packer broadcast proudly sponsored by your local Train heating and cooling dealer. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. We need a train going into the end zone for the Packers here. 4:47 to go in a very fast third quarter of this game. 2nd and goal, 7-yard line for the Packers. Here's Brett, play action fake, roll to the right, steps back inside, running back to the left, fires on the run, touchdown, I believe. It is caught in the end zone, touchdown for the Packers, and Terry Mickens has caught a second TD today.
I'll tell you, Brett Favre's unbelievable, Jim. He ran all the way to the right, waited for somebody to break open, found him way over in the left corner, and threw a perfect pass.
That was his last choice, a desperation measure. He was trying to go. Chimura and Jackson were running a long and short pattern to the right side. That's what he's looking to try to get, and somehow, some way, he finds Mickens.
I'll tell you what, I thought Mickens made one great leaping catch on the ball. He had to throw it away from the defender, Max, like you say, and Mickens made a great play. 4:33 to go here in the third quarter. It is now 20-10, and the try for extra point. This is a big extra point. The kick is on the way. The kick is up, and it is good, and it is 21-10, and a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. Be back after this from your local station here on the Packer Radio Network.
With a very noticeable chill in the air, winter is coming. And with winter coming, so is hockey season. That's where Swant Motor Company comes in. They've got the vehicles to...
With a bad need.
Well, drinking responsibly is always a good game plan. A message from your friends at Anheuser-Busch. We have 4:33 to go in the third quarter now. And the kickoff by Craig Henry. Glenn Milborn is back with Ron Rivers for the Detroit Lions. Here's the kick by Henry. Craig with a high floater. And Milborn is going to take this one on the run at the 7, to the 10, to the 15, to a little hole, cuts back against the grain. Nice return again by Milborn all the way out to near the 35-yard line. Milborn has been good all day long, and he picks the hole very nicely for the Detroit Lions, and he's out to about the 34-yard line.
Travis Jervey did a nice job of penetrating the wedge that time, but he needs some help to make the play.
They were looking and showing Benny Blades and Mark Chimura in the end zone. They were having hand-to-hand combat down there. All the while, it was Terry Mickens who went away and made a great catch for a touchdown for the Packers. 34-yard line, first down for Don McCaskey and the Detroit Lions. Let's see if they still rely on Barry Sanders, now down by 11 points. Here's Don on the first down play-action fake. Back to throw. Comes up to the sidelines, nicely thrown to Brett Perriman, and he gets hit and pushed out of bounds by Doug Evans, but he's got a first down at the 48-yard line. Wide open, nice pattern run by Brent Perriman to the left side.
Yeah, that's the best pass that Mikowski's thrown all day, Jim. It's the first time where on rhythm he threw a nice square out. I'm not sure he has enough arm to throw many of those.
So the ball is at the 48.
Unusual, maybe a change of plans for the Lions now that they're down like they are. They normally go to Barry on first down.
So it is a first down at the 48-yard line, so they may go to him here. Herman Moore is back into the game, and he split out wide right for Detroit. Here's the quarterback, Mikowski. Play action fake again. And here comes Reggie hitting just as he released the ball, and it's overthrown over the head of Herman Moore. Reggie was just spinning off his blocker and coming into Don Mikowski as he threw the ball. It's incomplete, and Mikowski could feel him coming, and he had to just release it. It's a good thing it was thrown long because Max out there, Herman Moore, was standing all alone.
Well, he was. The safety was going to come over and may or may not have got there in time, Jim, to do something with that, but that could have been bad. By the way, the Eagles are 21-13 over the Cowboys now.
2nd and 10 for Detroit. Gilbert Brown and George Kuntz have come out of the lineup for the Packers, and they go with some more wide receivers on second down. Or defensive backs, I beg your pardon. And Detroit goes with his usual complement. Here is the handoff to Barry Sanders. Cuts through a hole and through two defenders. Still on his feet, caught from behind and dragged down. Boy, he almost got away at the 45, but it was a run-saving tackle by Eugene Robinson, and Eugene holding his left knee as he rolls over down in front of the Packer bench. He got hit on the left knee as he made the tackle, and he is down and out in front of the Packer bench. Eugene Robinson on his knees now, bending over. He was holding his left knee. It'll be third down, Detroit.
And that's one part of the Packers' defensive success this season. It's been a constant, no injuries. That same starting lineup.
You can't afford to lose Eugene Robinson. He's been so strong for the Packers all this season long. Today's game brought to you by Aaron's Outdoor Power Equipment and your local Aaron's dealer. Aaron's, the best from start to finish. Well, we talk about this, and in the National Football League, there is a rule of attrition, Max. You lose players as the season progresses.
Well, that's true. You very seldom gain any.
I'm looking at Eugene trying to see exactly what it was that he did as he came over the top. He actually finished on his back. And is he up? All right. He's out of the ball game, obviously. It'll be third down for Detroit. Where did he go? I'm trying to find him. I was looking. I can't talk to Max without looking at him. We've got to use hand signals. Brian Williams comes to the sidelines. Now in there for the Packers is Mullen. Roderick Mullen is back in the defensive secondary position with Leroy Butler as a safety. And it is third down and about 4 for Detroit. They are shy of the Packer 45-yard line. We are at 3:25 to go in the third quarter. Single running back, and that's Barry Sanders. Moore is in motion to the outside. Here is Mikowski back to throw. Mikowski, quick pattern, knocked down by Santana Dotson. Got his left hand up and knocked the ball away from the intended receiver, and Mikowski with his hands on his hips, a little bit disgusted, thought he had somebody open downfield. It doesn't make any difference. By the way, Pete Metzlars is complaining downfield. You can have all you want happen downfield if the ball's deflected at the line of scrimmage.
That's right. Once it's touched, there's no such thing as interference. And, of course, Mikowski very disappointed that he couldn't get that ball.
Boy, Dotson's had a great day. Here's the little quick kick back there, and a fair catch called at the 10, 11-yard line by Desmond Howard. Fair catch call. The Packers will start deep in their own territory. 3:07 remaining, third quarter, 21-10. The Packers back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
During customer appreciation, he has no other choice right now.
First down at the 11-yard line for the Packers. Here's the draw play up the middle. Edgar Bennett out to the 10, to the 15, to the corner, around the corner to the 21, and dragged out of bounds near the first down marker. Edgar Bennett with a nice run to the outside, got a good block inside, then he got it to the outside.
That was the same play the Packers cracked earlier to the other side. This time Franklin Winters blocked back. Aaron Taylor pulling around with William Henderson leading the way, and boy, a nice run for Edgar Bennett.
Edgar Bennett came in with 490 yards on the season, just about halfway to the 1,000-yard mark. He has 35 yards in carries today. All right, a first down at the 21-yard line for the Packers. 2:55 remaining in the third quarter of this game. 21-10 in favor of Green Bay. Here's the quarterback, Brett Favre. Handoff goes this time to Levens. He goes to the left side, cuts back against the grain across the 25, out to the 29 for a gain of about 7 yards.
Real good job by Dorsey, leveling, letting Aaron Taylor kick his man the outside, reading that block and cutting it inside for positive yardage.
They kicked the man outside. He came inside, Max. That's simple enough, isn't it?
I'll tell you, this is a good time to check your team. Detroit has a good opportunity here with all that's going on over there to really not play too good, and that's exactly what it seems to be. There may be, if the Packers continue to put pressure on, they may wrap it up.
And nothing is more demoralizing than running the football on defense.
Well, we saw that in the first half with Barry Sanders. Second down and about 3 yards to go. Now they split into a pro set out of an I formation. In motion to the near side comes Don Beebe for the Packers. Here's the handoff, a sweep to the left side for Edgar Bennett. Gets a good block across the 30 to about the 35-yard line, and another first down running for the Packers from the 11 to the 35 in 3 running plays.
That's as close to the old Packer sweep as anybody gets in the NFL today, and the key is getting your fullback, William Henderson, to get the end man on the line of scrimmage down, just what Henderson did.
So it is a first down at the 35-yard line. A minute 38 to go in this quarter. Drivers wanted at your local Wisconsin Volkswagen dealers. Come in and test drive the Jetta GL in any one of our conveniently located dealerships. Call 1-800-DRIVE-VW for a dealer near you. First down at the 35-yard line for the Packers in their own territory, leading 21-10. Here's Brett. Play action fake. Oh, got to watch behind. He gets the ball downfield. There's Beebe wide open. 30. Beebe the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and touchdown, Don Beebe. Oh, what a throw and what a run by Don Beebe. 65 yards for the Green Bay Packer touchdown.
I'll tell you, they just kept trying it, Jim, that old fade pattern, and that time Beebe outrun them all, and a perfectly thrown pass by Brett Favre.
Line corners don't cover that well. Ryan McNeil certainly couldn't cover Don Beebe that time.
Don Beebe for the touchdown, and Cindy Powers from Coon Rapids, Minnesota. You got 6 minutes and 20 seconds to win yourself $620, and was that a pretty throw and play?
Oh, boy, you're right. Last week, because of the wind, we didn't see one of those. But when Brett is perfect like that, BB can fly. It was just a picture-perfect play.
Well, remember, this is the Don Beebe who's been taken out of the ballgame twice with big blows.
He's a courageous player. He'll take the hit. Not only that, being out there and being productive after taking hits like that, that's something special.
That is a drive, by the way, of 89 yards in 4 plays by the Packers. 89 yards in 4 plays. 4th touchdown pass of the day for Brett Favre. Is he back on track? He didn't have any last week. Everybody was panicked a little bit. Here's the ball down and the kick on the way. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Packers take the lead now, 28-10 over the Detroit Lions. Nice play by the Packers. Well, this game's action brought to you by your Polaris Snowmobile, ATV, and personal watercraft dealers. For outdoor fun before and after the snow, see your Polaris dealer. That was just the power of the Packers, Max, right there on that.
Well, you know, when you can run the ball like that, Jim, and then they get them to looking for the run a little bit, it just makes it a little bit easier to run that fly pattern. In other words, get them to looking for that run and then turn your speed guy loose and let her rip.
And now we know why they weren't relying on their short passing game continually.
Well, that was it. They ran the ball 3 times from the 11 out to the 35-yard line, 24 yards in 3 runs, and then boom, 65. That adds up to 89, doesn't it? I can't remember, but I think so. By the way, we're told Robinson's ankle is being taped, and he should be ready to play again. But it's a 28-10 lead for the Packers with 1:08 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And although I think the Lions left Berry a little early in the last time they had the ball, now Berry is way less of a factor. They got to start throwing it.
Here is the kick that Milburn takes at the 5. Milburn back to the 10, to the 15, to the outside. This time he doesn't get too far away, gets to the 20. By the way, we're told that that was the 133rd touchdown pass by Brett Favre. He is now 19 behind all-time leader Bart Starr with 152.
There's not going to be a Packer record left that Brett Favre doesn't own when he's
If he stays healthy, he's got them all coming. Ball's at the 20-yard line, 58 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Think Brett was a little excited on that last touchdown? I think so. San Diego leading Indianapolis. Indianapolis has struggled. They had so many injuries. And we know what injuries can do to you, but has Terry Mickens and Beebe picked up the slack today? Here is the first down play for McCaskey from the 20-yard line. Man in motion, Metzlars. And McCaskey throwing out to the right side to Barry Sanders. Hit at about the 18-yard line by Brian Williams. And no gain, maybe a loss of a yard or 2 on the play. See, if you make Barry predictable and you give a little run at him in your sights, then you've got a great chance. And that's what Brian Williams did, just didn't let him move.
And obviously much more dangerous out of the backfield than he is as a receiver.
35 seconds remaining. It is 2nd down at 11 yards to go. I'm looking at Beebe 4 catches, 106 yards, and Mickens 7 catches for 2 touchdowns, only 33 yards. Jim, is that his total? Gosh, seemed like he's been running all day long, but he's made them count. Here is the handoff to Barry Sanders, trying to get to the outside again, gives a little weak leg, and chased down at the 16-yard line. Chased down by Roderick Mullen, filling in for Eugene Robinson. But really, the guy who slowed him down and forced him to the outside, the first up man, and I don't have a number on him.
Leroy Butler.
He's the one who made the play for the Packers.
See, what we're getting now is a group effort, and that's how you deal with Barry Sanders. One guy is going to miss, but if he can change his direction and get other folks in the area, then you can stop him.
3rd quarter is over. The Packers lead at 28-10. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Snowmobiling daydreams once and for all, at least until next spring.
See Chautauqua Economy Marine downtown on the lake, Chautauqua, and get $100 in CAD cash good for Arctic wear, clothing, and accessories now with any new sled.
Protect your most precious cargo. Always buckle up the kids or use car safety seats. And make sure you set a good example and buckle up too.
Lakeview Medical Center, Rice Lake, we're committed to your health.
On 3rd down, McCaskey back to throw, and the ball's knocked out of his hands. I don't know whether it's a forward pass or not. They ruled that Detroit has gotten on the ball back at the 11-yard line. He got a big rush, and McCaskey's holding that right arm.
Santana Dotson on the sack. Once again, he beat Jeff Harding's rookie.
They're going to put the ball down. That's a sack for Mac. Money to the Mac Fund. Compliments to Budweiser Beer. Has Santana Dotson had a good day or what? He has had a terrific day.
2 sacks and a pass batted down.
I'm thinking about player of the game here. There are a lot of candidates. Mickens certainly is there. Here's a high floater on the punt that Desmond Howard takes at the 42. Got some running room. Goes to the right, looking for the corner at the 45, and goes out of bounds at the 46. The ball will be out at the 46-yard line. And so we are into the fourth quarter. 28-10. The Packers again with excellent field position. Timeout on the field. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network. Quarter. Bill Durant from West Milwaukee, Wisconsin is our Bud Packer payoff contestant. I don't think we heard from Coon Rapids, Minnesota yet. Chance out there for some money. We must be running close to out of time on Don Beebe's touchdown. Packers have great field position at the 46-yard line, leading 28-10. Here's the first play for Brett Favre. The quick handoff up the middle to Henderson, and he drives forward to near midfield. By the way, Larry, over on the sidelines, Johnny Johnson, a rookie out of Illinois, is warming up. Scott Mitchell is the third quarterback today, and that may mean that Mikowski could not continue to play.
He's from Illinois?
Yes,
Scary
University
thought.
of Illinois.
Scary thought.
I know it.
Now we know he's done very well academically, at least.
Funny thing about it, Mikowski is the guy that is warming him up.
Well, that is funny when you think about it, isn't it?
Get in there. I've had enough.
Second down and about 6. You want to make sure he's ready, right? Second down, 6 yards to go. Here's Brett Favre back to throw, and a whistle blows before the play. It's a false start on the part of the Packers. I'll tell you what, again, the number one defense in the National Football League had a little trouble with Barry Sanders in the first half, but you could see in their third possession that the defenses started to take charge of the ballgame for both sides. The Packers to this point have figured out the defense of the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are still struggling to pick out the Packers.
Lions had 149 yards at halftime. They have 158 now. If my math is correct, and since I went to Illinois, it is 9 yards so far in the second half.
Or as you usually say, approximately 9 yards.
Around 9.
Second down and 11 for the Packers. And the ball resting back at the 45-yard line now for Brett Favre out of the I formation. Brett draws them offside. Then the handoff goes to Edgar Bennett. Bennett around the corner looking to get more. Can't. But the 5-yard penalty will move the Packers forward. Drawn offside were the Detroit Lions on the play. Well, Dean Foods has been providing Packer fans with quality dairy and ice cream products for over 70 years. Dean's Milk and Ice Cream. You can taste how much we care. Let me catch up on some of those scores here for you.
Yeah, those are the latest if you can find them. I tell you, interestingly enough, Dallas has gone for a 2-point conversion and tied up Philly 21-21.
In the fourth quarter. Come on, Philly. That's at Dallas today. 21-21 in the fourth. Pittsburgh running all over St. Louis 35-6, and St. Louis having a lot of problems. The Bears have taken a 13-10 lead on Tampa Bay in the fourth. San Diego 19, Indianapolis 12 in the third. The Kansas City-Minnesota game is a 3 o'clock start this afternoon. All right, second down, 6 yards to go for the Packers, which is, what, a half an hour away from now. We're in the fourth quarter, 12:48 remaining in the ball game, and the Packers leading 28-10. Here's Brett on the handoff. This goes to Bennett trying to slide to the outside. Got only a yard or two down to about the 48-yard line.
Packers tried to run that play where the right guard, Adam Timmerman, blocks down in the nose, and Frankie Winters pulls around that. But that time there was too much penetration. Frankie couldn't get around, and kind of an ugly-looking running play.
You know what? It's been kind of an interesting day, hasn't it, here? The Packers, while the first half was a very competitive first half of football, the Packers seem much more solid to me today overall than they have for a couple of weeks.
Well, defensively, Jim, they have just not given. Mikowski has had no chance all day, period.
Third down and about 4 for Brett Favre. Back throwing, now running to the right on the run. Fires the ball upfield, and the ball hits the defender and bounces away. He intended it for Edgar Bennett. And Bennett had broken clear of the defender, but the ball actually hit the defender in the back. And the ball bounces away. It's incomplete. And the Packers will have to kick it down with 12 minutes to go.
The way Brett throws it, there's probably a bruise there developing.
Big old hole in the guy's back is what it is. Glenn Milbourne, now with the sun, this is a difficult time for the returner. He is looking right into that sun that comes over this southwest corner of this stadium about this time of the day. All right, waiting is Craig Hentrich to do the kicking. Gets a good snap from center. No rush. And this is a high floating punt. Milbourne comes up to make the catch, but somehow he lost it, just like we were talking about. It bounces inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. That's exactly what I was talking about. Milbourne came up to get the ball, and he lost sight of it, and the ball bounces away from him. Timeout on the field. 11:49 remaining, 28-10 the Packers. Back after this word from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
Backwards, Johnson was warming him up.
Yeah, you're right. Single running back Barry Sanders from the 7-yard line. Mikowski on the first down call. We have 12 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's down and a handoff. Goes to Barry Sanders. Finds a little hole. And darts to the outside to the 10, to the 15, up the sidelines to the 20. Somebody better corner, and soon they do, finally, at about the 41, 42-yard line. What a great run by Barry Sanders.
At the start of it, he made a move on Reggie White that was just, it was Barry Sanders. Nobody else could do it.
35 yards on the run, which will take him up to about 150 yards in the ballgame. That was a terrific move.
Well, what a way to get out of the hole in one play. Just give it to Barry and say, find a hole.
He had everybody pinned inside, and then when he got to the sidelines, you were trying to pin him and push him to the sidelines, and he just kept going. First down at the 42-yard line.
He was one cutback from going all the way.
From going 93 yards. First down for Detroit at the 42-yard line in their own territory. Here's a play-action fake by Mikowski this time. Reggie trying to get up to him. Now he rolls to the left, looking for someplace to throw it. Now he's still on the run, and Santana Dotson can't get him. He's still running, folks. Flag's down. He fires it upfield, and the pass is dropped.
They got Jeff Hardings for clipping Reggie White in the backfield there.
The pass upfield was dropped. It would have been at the 48-yard line, but the flag had already been thrown, folks. The ball will be... Well, let's see what Tom White. Let's not draw any conclusions. We'll wait and see.
They got Hardings for clipping Reggie White.
But what a great job by Mikowski to get away. Let's listen to Tom White.
No infraction on the play.
What?
The block on number 64 was from the side. Therefore, there's no penalty. Second down.
If there is no penalty, then pray tell, why do you throw the flag?
In case you wanted a penalty, you could have it.
Logic sometimes escapes me on that.
That is a little mystifying because he threw the rag.
Yeah. You know what's mystifying to me? The receivers.
He hit him dead in the back.
Mikowski is running around everywhere, and the receivers were not making an effort to get open.
Well, anyway, it's a second down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Mikowski may be out of breath, all that running he did, and escaping on that last time that the Packers were chasing him.
Well, here's an audible.
Takes a long time at the line of scrimmage. Here's Don on the second down. Goes with a draw. Not a bad audible. Give it to Barry. And Barry gets to the 44-yard line for a gain of 2. I'm going to audible to a run for Barry. That's not hard to figure out, right?
No, there's nobody else back there.
So it is going to be a third down. By the way, our program director at our originating station, Steve Wexler, is here today. Steve, your wife is here? Where is she? You ever seen a game up here before? Oh, my goodness. Here a man is the program director of the originating station, and he's never brought his wife to the game before? That's sick. That's very pathetic, is it not? Second down, third down, and 8 yards to go. 3rd and 8. Here's Mikowski back in the pocket. On rhythm this time upfield. Caught short of the first down at the 48-yard line. Caught by Herman Moore. Only his 3rd catch of the day. And quick coverage by Craig Newsom brings up a 4th down for Detroit. Now, they're at the 48-yard line. Are you going to go for 4th down here with 10:07 to go and down 18 points? Probably not a lot to lose. So it'll be 4th down.
They'll go, but
By the way, I'll be looking for a job tomorrow, I guess. Probably lost my head in that particular sequence. You're writing it down?
How about
Paul the Sage is writing it down, helping out Steve Wexler.
How about it? Oh, wait a minute. I got a job for you.
4th down and 3, Detroit. Pyramid in motion to the outside. Here is Mikowski back to throw, and the ball batted down over the middle. On 4th down, Mikowski tried to just thread it over the middle. He had a man open, and the ball is knocked down. The Packers take over on 4th down with a break. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
Now, only at McDonald's. Take home Bugs Bunny and all your favorite Looney Tunes stars from this November's new...
That's all you have to do is play every day.
Okay, first down at the 49-yard line for the Packers. Mickens splits off to the left. Terry's had a terrific day with 2 touchdown catches for the Packers. Brett Favre's thrown 4 touchdowns today for the 28 points. Here's Brett. Quick pattern to Mickens, and he dropped it. Terry was going to run at the 45-yard line before he caught the ball, and he had his hands up, looked at it, and then looked to see where he was going, and the ball went right through his hands, incomplete.
Exactly right. Wide open, and that happens so often. You want to see where you're going before you catch it.
But wasn't that a great rhythm pattern? Boom, boom. You know, it was right there on rhythm, and he was wide open on the play. Now Terry comes to the sidelines. Into the lineup goes Derek Mays, and he will split off wide to the right.
That's about as positive as you can get, Jim.
Here is Brett Favre on the handoff to Bennett, trying to find the corner, lets the blocking form, and he drives upfield, and a late flag on the play. Holy cow. It was for a first down of 12 yards for Edgar Bennett. and then a late flag thrown by the official on that side of the field.
And where they threw it could only be holding.
Yeah, could only be. Catch all of the action with binoculars by Bushnell. Max, Larry, Jim Palm, and I see the game through Bausch & Lomb Legacy brand 10x50 binoculars by Bushnell, courtesy of Bushnell Sport Optics and Mills Fleet Farm.
Tell you what, Frankie Winters had a very difficult block. It looked well executed to me. I don't know if they got him or not, but very difficult block.
52.
It is, Frankie.
Offense, 10 yards, second down.
What's going on there is the defensive lineman he has to block is lined up towards the play, a man over. He's got to reach that guy. It's a tough block to make.
Well, they lose 10 yards and go back to the 42-yard line and 41-yard line, so it becomes a 2nd and 20 for the Packers with 9:16 remaining in the game. That was a good-looking running play, too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Maybe it was because of the hold. Who knows? But it certainly did get some nice yardage. Yeah, it was a very late flag. Here is Brett Favre, and they're going to sweep it to the left side this time, and Edgar trying to cut inside, gets about 5 out to the 47-yard line where it becomes 3rd down and about 15 yards to go.
Same thing the other way. Frankie having to do the reach block. That time he was able to do it without getting called for holding. Positive yardage for the Packers.
They said we're going to run this thing until you get it right, and apparently he got it right that time, so we can run it some other play on this 3rd down play.
They did get it right. They're getting better on that sweep.
3rd down, 8:40 remaining here in the ball game. Edgar Bennett so far 48 yards in the ball game. That's a good decent total today, and the Packers up to 76 yards now. That's not the kind of total that they would like. Any good news or bad news?
Well, not really. Dallas, Philadelphia tied at 21. Tampa still behind Chicago 13-10.
Here's Brett back to throw. Fakes a pump. Now he sets a screen off to the left. Edgar Bennett. Oh, what a great block. He can't get that one man down. And Edgar gets back to the 42. The problem was, I think it was Frankie, wasn't it? Frank Winters trying to get his man down, and the man stayed on his feet. Had Frank been able to pancake the guy, then Edgar could really have turned upfield. But on 4th down now, they're about 4 yards shy of the 1st down.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Frankie gets a plus on that play because if you can maintain that kind of contact in the open field versus the defensive back, you've done your job.
Well, you know what Edgar was waiting for? He was waiting to see which way that Frankie was going to take him, and he was never able to take him any particular position. So it is going to be 4th down for Craig Hentrick with 7:43. He's just letting as much clock go as he can. He still has 10 seconds.
Craig's had a nice day putting punts inside the 20.
Well, he really has made the punting game. You don't even worry about it for the Green Bay Packers. And he's going to let the clock run out. They'll take a 5-yard penalty to give him a little more room to work out there. Budweiser, the king of beers, is proud to be part of another Packer season. And now introducing Newborn On Dating. How do I say that? Newborn On Dating? Newborn On Dating? Newborn On Dating.
Oh, yeah, dating.
It's the day your bud was born because
fresh is like a dating service where you get a date or something.
Because fresh beer tastes better.
Like online, you could look up the girls.
Well, listen, we already established you're from the University of Illinois, so you don't need to go ahead with that line of thinking. Right. We already have that.
I'll tell you have to admit, though, fresh beer is the best.
Oh, I admit it. You admit that?
I'll take it any way I can get it, to be honest with you.
Here is the snap. Hentrick with a little flopper this time off the side of his foot. And it comes out of bounds.
I'm sorry, Craig.
Well, upfield is going to be marked out. Well, they're still walking to the 30, 31, 32, 32-yard line. My goodness, that didn't get much out of that at all, did it? Craig said, wait, let me swing this thing. It's like trying to hit a small iron. We'll get a timeout on the field. With the score 28-10, the Packers, 7:15 remaining. Back after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
Out of Dallas by 3, 24-21. That's exciting.
It is exciting. 1st down at the 32-yard line, and that is at Dallas.
That's our boy, Ty Detmer.
Single running back. Here is McCoskey. Quick pattern to the outside. It is caught, but immediately down right at the line of scrimmage by the defender, Doug Evans. Is that Johnny? I'm trying to wait and see till he gets up. Johnny Morton, who made the catch. And he just slipped. His feet went right out from under him, and then Doug just said, I'll sit on you for a while. And that ended the play. Gain of a yard or a half a yard maybe at the most. And Simmons trying to get off the field. What do we have here? Stop of the clock by Tom White, and a timeout may have been taken by the Packers.
Dotson called timeout because he didn't think the defender could get off.
Well, Wayne Simmons was trying to get off the field at the time.
Wayne was running about a 4.5. He could have made it.
Steve Bono has been struggling for Kansas City, and they may be on the verge of trying to make a change at their quarterback position, and it will depend a great deal on how he plays at Minnesota today.
Well, St. Louis has held Pittsburgh to 42 points so far today.
It is a 2nd down and 10. Here is McCoskey, straight drop back, and he comes up the sidelines in the slot. Oh, nicely thrown. And Herman Moore has made the catch on the sidelines and a 1st down at the 41. Boy, that was a terrific pass. Craig Newsome wasn't that far off, but McCoskey just threw it perfectly for the Detroit Lions. 6:47 left.
Newsome didn't pick up the ball because actually it was thrown on a kind of a flat level pass. He could have knocked it down if he'd have saw it.
A 1st down at the 41, Detroit. McCoskey again with a quick short drop comes to the sidelines, and over there on the far side, Evans and Brett Perriman were kind of hooked up, and the ball went sailing over their heads anyway. Incomplete pass for the Detroit Lions. Both Ty Williams in, and so is Wayne Simmons this time.
Both Packer corners overall today, though, very aggressive on a good core of line receivers.
Well, you can't recall a position where Herman Moore has hurt you that much in the game today.
No big plays.
All right, 2nd down for Detroit. McCoskey with good protection. Now it breaks down. Reggie's got him. Reggie caught him from behind and brought him down at the 42-yard line. The ball came loose. I don't know whether Reggie will get sole credit for that, but he certainly gets at least half of it. And the sack for Mac Money to the back punt compliments of Budweiser. The other person down on the play is Sean Jones, who made contact, so it may be a split sack for the two of them.
And part of the credit for that goes to the coverage downfield. Craig Newsome did a great job of bumping Herman Moore right out of his route at the line of scrimmage. Very aggressive.
3rd down and 11. I think I'd give each of those, Jones and White, a half, and that's what they've done. All right, back to pass goes McCoskey again. McCoskey firing up field, caught. Oh, beautiful throw again. Ty Williams beaten by Brett Perriman, and a 1st down at the 25-yard line with the clock running and 6:14 remaining in the ball game. 6:14 left. 28-10. The Packers have the lead in the ball game. They're going to put it at the 24-yard line. That was a good throw by McCoskey. And Williams out there all alone could not get to Perriman before the ball hit.
Eugene Robinson has not returned, but probably more precautionary than anything.
Draw play to Sanders up the middle and brought down by Brian Williams in the open field for a gain of maybe a yard. Nice play by Brian Williams, who was slipped down to the ankles and just wrapped him up and wouldn't let him give you that little limp leg and pull away, and knocked him down at about the 23.
Brian's got to be some kind of athlete to do that, one-on-one in the open field.
2nd down, Detroit. Back goes McCoskey, pumping, now stepping up, now running, now caught, now got away, now running, now caught. Goes down at the 20 by number 33, Doug Evans, who caught him. Donnie didn't have time to look down. I love Tom McCoskey. I've never had more thrills than 89. He just didn't have any time to look downfield to find anybody at all.
He didn't have quite the legs he had in 89.
No, he didn't, did he?
Nor the arm.
Well, he's been out here a long time today. 5:10 remaining in the ball game.
Tough audience up here. Right?
Yeah. 11 out of 24 for Don McCoskey today. 3rd down and about 7. Straight back, looking, now fires upfield. There's a man on the slant, caught by Perriman, and a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line by Brent Perriman. 4:52 left in the game, and Detroit with a nice drive here to get them down from the 32 to the Packer 8-yard line with a 1st down.
Perriman working against rookie Tyrone Williams, giving him a few lessons in pass defense today.
1st down, Detroit. McCoskey brings them to the line of scrimmage. This is no-huddle offense that he's running right now. Here goes McCoskey back to the end zone. Touchdown, Brett Perriman. He threw a bullet. There was good coverage on that play, and he fired it to Brett Perriman, and Perriman has scored the touchdown, and the Lions have scored for the first time in the 2nd half.
And can you imagine how easy they made, as tough as they've made it look all day, that drive looked just effortless.
You know, the Lions actually talked about it one time. We're considering going to the no-huddle on a regular basis because they've been a lot more productive in that situation this year than they are with the regular offense.
Well, that one only covered 8 yards for the touchdown, but it was plenty.
And once again, it was
they're going for 2.
Tyrone Williams.
They're going to go for 2. It is 28-16. They could get within 10 if they make the 2-point conversion. Here's the quarterback, McCoskey, and everybody moved for Detroit that time. Everybody moved.
Now they'll probably maybe kick it.
4:27 left here in the 3rd quarter. It is they want to get it to within 10. That's what they really need. So it doesn't make any difference whether it's 11 or not. It makes a difference if it's 10. So I'm sure that they will go again, and it will make it just 5 yards further. Might give him a little more room to maneuver there in the end zone. This is a no-time play on the clock, by the way. The clock will stay at 4:27 left in the game. I don't know whether you knew that or not.
You know, now that you mention it, it makes sense.
Ball's back at the 8-yard line. 7.5 to be perfectly exact. Sanders is the lone running back. Here's Brett sending Johnny Morton in motion, or rather Bukowski. Back he goes to throw. He comes upfield. It is caught by Herman Moore.
He did.
And he stuck the ball over the goal line, says the referee. Says the official at the goal line. He says he stuck the ball over the goal line, and that is a 2-point conversion to make it 28-18.
I'll tell you what, if that really were to mean something, Jim, that was a fantastic play by that receiver.
Well, we're not done yet, are we?
I know you're not aware of these kind of things, but what was the spread on this thing?
12. I'm always aware of the spread.
28-10 is the score. The drive was 68 yards, Jim, and how many plays? I want to remind you that our ball game today brought to you by State Farm Insurance and the State Farm agents throughout Wisconsin. For all your family insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. 68-7. Now, here's the real thing that you as a player don't want to face, and this is the onside kick that's coming up right here by the Detroit Lions.
Well, it's something you never practice live. I mean, they do it on
form. Depend on 76 gasolines to keep it a performance car. Well, here's what we have. 2 timeouts left for Detroit. At 28-18, Packer lead. Packers are going for a 12th regular season win here. And plus, there was also in there, Larry, a playoff game, right? So they're actually looking for a 13th straight win here.
I believe it was 12. They're going for the 12th straight.
Well, they lost the opening game last year to the Los Angeles Rams, or the St. Louis Rams. Here's the onside kick.
Oops.
And a ball deflects upfield, and it's still being deflected. Who got it? The ball is still bouncing around.
Detroit got it.
And who's got the ball? We're waiting for the officials to rule. Detroit says it's their ball. That was an interesting play, and they're still fighting for the ball down at the 40-yard line. Detroit has the ball at the 41. So Detroit's right back in it. I think the Packers made a mistake. That first man who went for it had no real chance to grab the ball.
It hit Samura at less than 10 yards and so forth. So right then it becomes anybody's ball.
And once it went up in the air, well, you're right. It was anybody's ball, and they had as many people there as we did.
Well, let's see. Well, this says a new record for consecutive victories in Lambeau Field. The first game last year was a loss to the Rams. Then they won 7 straight in the playoffs. That would be 8. And then they have won now. Well, we're not going to count unless I talk about wins with the ball resting at the 43, right?
Who really cares?
Well, yeah, what you care about is stopping the Rams.
Everything you wanted to know and more.
Stopping the Lions right here at the 43-yard line. It is a 28-18 victory if you can stop them. But they really are making a game out of it now. Here's Bukowski on the first down play. Bukowski comes to the sideline, deflected. Ball hit at the line of scrimmage again. That's the 3rd time today Bukowski has had a pass deflected at the line. So it'll be 2nd down.
I believe Reggie White got his big arm up there to knock that one down.
Philly 24, Dallas 21, 13-10 Chicago over Tampa Bay. Those games are not over yet.
It's only a minute 14 left in the Dallas game. I don't know who had the ball, but that's if they can hold them, Dallas will. I'd like to get rid of Dallas, wouldn't you?
Let's get rid of the Detroit Lions if we can at the moment, wouldn't it? It would really help. 2nd down for Detroit at the 43-yard line of the Packers. Detroit with a successful onside kick. Here's Bukowski straight back in the pocket. Here comes the sack, and he got away again. And he fires downfield. He's got a man open, and it's knocked down. Oh, man, almost intercepted. Pryor made sure he knocked it down, but he really was inside the defender. He did the first job. You got to knock the pass down. But he had a chance to catch it and couldn't quite pull it off. Incomplete pass. And again, a blitz by Doug Evans, and Bukowski did a magic act of getting away from Doug Evans.
Well, he did, because usually they came in from the blind side, and he still got away from him. But you can see that Mack just doesn't quite have the arm he used to have. He threw that as hard as he could, but he couldn't get it up high enough.
4:08 remaining in the ballgame. It's 3rd down. You really got to stop them here on this drive.
I mean, it really should have been intercepted.
It should have been intercepted by Mike Pryor. There's no question. All right, here's the 3rd down play. Bukowski back in the pocket. Here comes the blitz by Evans, the other side. This time he got it. Evans came from the left side this time, and Evans spun him down. Dotson helped out. More money from the Mack Fund.
You know what's weird about that? That time they had a blocker for Evans, Pete Metzlars, and Evans beat the blocker. Last time, no blocker, he missed a tackle.
It'll be 4th down, Detroit. More money to the Mack Fund. Compliments of Budweiser beer on the sack by Doug Evans. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Packer Radio Network.
You're listening to WJMC AM and FM, Rice Lake.
It's 4th down and 17. 4th and 17 for Detroit. Big play right here. Metzlar is in motion. Got to get to Mikowski. Here he goes back to throw. He fires the ball upfield. It is caught. Didn't get the first down.
Short.
It's depending upon where they mark it. And the officials mark it at the 34, and the Packers take over. Man, that was close.
Good, solid,
that was
clean tackle by
so
Roderick
close.
Mullen.
The Packers take over.
Good, solid tackle by Roderick Mullen.
Big tackle. And a big play by the Packers right there to take over at the 34-yard line. And the lead is still 10, 28-18. Packers will take over and try to move the ball upfield and move the clock out. Only 2 timeouts remaining for Detroit. Brett Favre comes to the huddle. Here's where you want the running game to kick in for you right now.
Well, a couple of first downs. You can take this at home.
Here is Brett Favre, and he hands it off to Edgar Bennett, looking to sweep to the right side, but Edgar only gets to about the 36-yard line for a gain of 2.
Bruce Wilkerson out there playing right tackle for Earl Dotson. Couldn't quite get it done. Couldn't get that end man off the line of scrimmage.
Timeout used by the Detroit Lions, and they will have 1 timeout remaining. 3:20 left in the ball game. Well, if you can get them to use 1 more, then the only other time they can stop it is the 2-minute warning. A couple of things we need to be thinking about, and that's the game's best player today. And a reminder for you to stay tuned after the game today for Packer Sunday. Your chance to talk about today's game with Lynn Casper, Bill Scott, Larry McCarren, and Packer fans all around the state. Interviews from the locker room and a sweep around the NFL on Packer Sunday following our broadcast today on most of these same Green Bay Packer radio network stations.
Hey, by the way, did you read that article about my daughter in the paper today?
No.
Yeah, I did. That was very nice, wasn't
Yeah, it was. She's out there at the old Buffalo Chip.
That sounds good. Buffalo Chip Bar, if you're ever out there, stop in.
But don't believe that age they put her. She's not supposed to spread her age because that makes me look like I'm a little older than people think.
By the way, Kathy Wessel is here at the game today. She had her knee replacement scheduled around the game so she could be here for the game. Here's the handoff. Edgar Bennett tries to find a hole and slides forward to about the 41-yard line where the Lions will take another timeout with 3:13 remaining, and they have no timeouts remaining. Don, Jeanette, Matt, and Mark all say congratulations to Pat Wessel. She had the game. No, I guess she's going to have the knee replacement Tuesday.
From the Joneses and the Johnsons.
How many Joneses and Johnsons do you think are here today in this 60,000 crowd?
Well, I don't know, but there's
Not that many from Hammond.
Not many from Hammond. Its population is only 14. That includes 3 cows and a small hog.
A bar, a church, and a barber shop.
3:13 remaining on a 3rd down play. Atlanta is leading Carolina in the 4th today. Philadelphia has taken a 10-point lead on the Dallas Cowboys. 10 seconds left. Dallas will suffer a 4th loss this year, right?
Oh, shucks.
They'll be 5-4. Boy, that hurts me, I know. I'm shedding these tears like crazy over here, aren't you?
Well, I'm just happy for Ty Dutton. I think
Me too. Ty has done a heck of a job. All right, it's going to be a 3rd down. Big play here. The Packers need to get the first down. Bennett, Edgar Bennett.
Get it.
Got it. Wow. Second effort. Drove forward to the 48-yard line, and that might be the thing that does it right there. What a drive. And you know what? He had a lot of guys over there helping him from the Packers. They were saying, Derek Mays up front trying to throw a block. All of them out there saying, we're going to get this first down, and they did.
But I'll tell you what, that was a huge individual effort by Edgar. I mean, they were on him more than one. Great effort by Edgar Bennett.
By the way, my vote for most valuable player of the game is SD.
Santana does?
You got it.
I think, let me hear what Larry thinks. I think Mickens certainly deserves some credit. 7 catches, 52 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And maybe Beebe for such a courageous performance as he put on today. First down with 2:25 remaining. Here's Brett Favre. The handoff to Edgar Bennett. Cuts back up to the 50, down to the 49, 48-yard line. And they try to wrestle the ball away from him, but they can't do it. And we'll go to the 2-minute warning right here. We'll take a break. 2 minutes left in the game. The Packers try to wrap it up, leading 28-18. Back after this on the Packer Radio Network.
This is Brett Favre. If you want a top-quality Packer jersey, the way I see it, you've got 2 options. You could join me on the field this Sunday and try to avoid a 300-pound defensive lineman, or you could go to your headquarters for Packers merchandise.
All right, here we go. 2nd down for the Packers. Brett Favre splits the 2 running backs. The Packers have played a solid game today. Here's the ride and the handoff to Edgar Bennett. He sweeps to the right, cuts through a hole, and is down to the 45-yard line. They try to wrestle the ball away. Edgar knows when he hits the ground, they're going to jump all over him and try to wrestle the ball away from him. So now the Packers have 40 seconds from which to put this ball in play. Would be about a minute 10 remaining when they have to put it in play on third down.
But Edgar fumbles about once a millennium.
Yes, he did once this year, and we all were shocked. Remember that?
It's been like 5 years since the last
It must have been somebody else. You all got the wrong person who did that. So the Packers about to go to 8-1 on the season. Let's go back now. How many games have they won here at home? They got 3 home games remaining, right?
Let it die, Jim. Give us a break.
Chicago, as I said, defeated Tampa Bay 13-10. Here is the third down play, and the ride to Bennett again to the left side, and he tries to turn upfield, and they got him blocked down this time. And so they now have a minute 8 when the clock restarts. Oh, they haven't restarted right there. They have about 23 seconds difference in the two clocks.
Are they out of timeouts, Tampa?
They're out at Detroit.
Detroit?
Yeah, Tampa is too. Yeah. That game's all over.
Tampa's out to lunch again.
Tampa loses at Chicago. I thought they had a chance to win that game today, but they didn't. The Packers, Craig Hentrich, comes up to talk with Tom White about it. I think they'll just let the clock run totally out, and there will be about 25 seconds when they kick the ball.
Another interesting score. Cincinnati had clawed their way back from 21-3 behind to 21-21 with a few seconds
it was Baltimore.
left.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Bruce Kozlik.
So there goes the clock out at 25 seconds remaining in the game, and the Packers are penalized 5 yards back to the 50. Edgar Bennett, by the way,
called timeout.
Oh, did they? 68 yards for Edgar Bennett running today, which will put him at about 550, somewhere in that range, with 7 games to go. So the Packers don't take the loss on the play. So Hentrich will do the kicking. This has been a terrific win for the Packers.
Well, I thought Detroit was very dangerous coming in here.
I did too.
The situation over there, Barry Sanders, all those factors. I thought they're very dangerous coming in. Big win.
Well, you know what? I don't think they showed all of that much verve and energy today, except for Barry Sanders. Sanders made them a competitive team in this ball game today.
As bad as Mitchell is, they missed him.
It's a kicking down for Craig Hentrich. Craig gets a good snap from center. All he wants to do is just kick it over the line of scrimmage. He kicks a nice floater. It's going to bounce down. And Jerby was down there, couldn't find it. It hit at the 2 and rolled into the end zone, and will be taken out at the 20. But you know what he did? He hung it up so high, it took 10 full seconds off that clock. So there are 15 seconds remaining, ensuring that the Packers are going to win. 30 seconds for a quick commercial message after this on the Packer Radio Network.
There really is a difference at the home of the pleasant buying experience. Great selection, we're working for you. Come in and see what Don Johnson can do. We really treat you better. GM makes the cars. Don Johnson Motors makes the deal.
Highways 48 and 53 in Rice Lake.
Here we go. Mikowski with 15 seconds to go. Back to pass. Comes up over the middle. Drop by Johnny Morton. That leaves 11 seconds on the clock. I thought they might give another carry to Barry Sanders, who has a normal complement of 20 carries today. 152 yards for Barry. And that will put him at 797 yards for the season. And we see him the next to last week of the season in Detroit. That'll be a good ball game. You can see it's going to be a good game when we get over there. So it is going to be a second down, 11 seconds remaining. Let's let somebody catch it and then just hold him down on the ground for about 11 seconds. Mikowski back to throw, dances up and away, fires to the sidelines, incomplete. With 5 seconds to go. You know what? You see anybody leave this stadium yet?
No, it's just unusual that everybody's still here.
Well, they're all here, and they're cheering the Packers down to the final second. 8-1 start for the Green Bay Packers this season.
Boy, I don't remember a start that good.
Boy, let's see what happens on the road. Coming up with Kansas City, Dallas, and St. Louis. And then back here to take on the Bears and Denver. It doesn't get a whole lot easier. Bears, Denver, and Minnesota are left at home. So that's 5 wins at home. 7-5 is 12, and a playoff game would be 13 in a row. Back to throw.
Talk to Lee Remmel in his
sideline. Perriman still on his feet, running across at the 40, and then drilled and loses the ball. And Leroy Butler with a good, strong hit. And the game is ended right there with the Packers winning it 28-18. Back in 1 minute after this from your local station on the Packer Radio Network.
Hardware, tools, toys, gifts, and furniture. It's all at Cameron I-Claim Freight. New items are...
Played today without their starting quarterback, Scott Mitchell. They hung in there for the first half, but they were unable to keep things going into the second half, and that's where the Packers took off. Ronnie, at Kansas City, at Dallas for the Green Bay Packers.
That's right, and that's what home field advantage is going to come down to for them. They have to at least get one of those two. If they get two, that's heaven. But if they slip on those two, it's going to be hard. And Dallas, even though they lost today, is playing better and will play them tough. But that's great for Green Bay. 8-1 this point in the season. Health is a factor as well. They got to stay healthy.
Minnesota, big one later today, taking on Kansas City, and you see Detroit at 4-5. So for Ron Pitts, I'm Tom Brenneman saying so long from Green Bay. Final score: Packers 28, Lions 18. JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie Lott will be along from the Fox Television Center with the NASDAQ post-game report. So the Green Bay Packers are on their way to Kansas City and Dallas, a couple of big ones. Hope you've enjoyed it. You've been watching the NFL on Fox. So long, everybody.
Man, Don Mikowski starting, but more importantly, Barry Sanders had that 100-yard game in 6 games. He wanted to get started, but not until, Don Beebe nailed by Ron Rice on the pass by Favre.
Yeah, safety coming from the other side. I don't think Favre ever saw him, but certainly Beebe paid the price.
And this is what Favre does so well. The rollout to Dorsey Levens, 3rd and goal from the 1, 7-3 the Packers. Where do you think he's going? In the stands! Up there! And has a good seat, actually. Nice twirl by Dorsey. Second quarter, same scores. Barry Sanders breaks left and makes the move at midfield. With the cutback. With the move inside. And he carries it for 37 yards. And then more Barry Sanders, Tom.
Barry Sanders with a nice hesitation, then spotting the hole, getting through for 8 yards. Then Sanders again to the other side. The nice cutback, great vision. Question, where has this been for the last 6 or 7 football games?
And then watch Barry Sanders here. 3rd and 15 at the 18, looking to make the move. Santana Dotson looked like Carlos saw Santana. Said, oye, como va, when Barry was running. A beautiful run, and it's a touchdown. The Lions lead it 10-7. Beebe still in the game after that hard hit, but watch this collision with Benny Blades. Favre steps up and wings it, and boom! Both down, both returned. Just a rough collision.
Yeah, and certainly those kind of hits you cannot afford for your receivers to take very often.
This Favre can do nicely to Terry Mickens. They slipped him to Mickens, and he's been hurt with an ankle injury all year. Favre happy he's back. 14-10 the Pack. Then without the big receivers, Robert Brooks and Antonio Freeman, we look to the Pro Bowl tight end, Mark Chmura for 14. And then, Nelly. If you've seen one tight end, you're going to see another one. It's Kip Jackson inside the 20. And then Beebe on the cross pattern. He's down to the 4-yard line. Couple plays later, watch this play.
Yeah, and I think this is what Favre does better than anybody. Earl Dotson at the bottom of your screen doing a great job of shielding so Favre can step back through the pocket and deliver a nice touchdown pass to Terry Mickens.
Favre 7 for 7 in the first 2 drives of the 65 yards. Packers lead at 28-10. He's in the stands. The Lions score and make a 2-point conversion from the 8-yard line after a penalty.
Green Bay last Sunday previewed a first-class tribute to Vince Lomsance.